Gets me every time. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sidebar Cantina, the podcast where we talk about Star Wars, pop culture, new additions to the family, or whatever the fuck we feel like talking about. I'm Mr. Jason Roscom. Here with me each and every single week, the ever distracting Dave Martin.
It's not my fault.
What is wrong with you? Why are you doing this?
Because
right at the start of the show.
Because it doesn't look right.
Oh my god.
You look like you're white.
I'm pretty much the whitest person on earth, so.
Oh no, I saw the whitest person on earth, and that person was at the wedding I was at.
Ah, okay, fair enough. Anyway, Dave Martin. Hello, Dave.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's Monday.
Yes, it is.
And I go on my golf trip this weekend.
Oh yeah, good times.
That means I won't be at work for like 4 days.
When does your time off start?
It's for the long weekend. It's over the long weekend.
Okay.
So because we have the National Colombian Indigenous Drug Dealer Day or
Colombian
whatever.
Day. Oh yeah.
The Colombian Day.
That's a good day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yes, we have that day off. So
I don't have that day off. Well, actually, technically, I do.
Yes, you do, because it's a Monday.
Yeah, and I don't work Mondays anymore.
Right. But I will be golfing that day down in Myrtle Beach.
Ah, fun.
So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm sure you are.
Yes, I'm counting the hours.
Yeah. Hopefully, have you looked at the extended forecast?
No.
Okay.
Control my controllables, Jason.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
going no matter what.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. So
get out of here and do this and I'll click that.
Aside from your golf trips, what are we talking about today?
Well, I think we're addressing some much needed catch up.
Yes.
Heinz 57. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
No, I mean Ahsoka. We're catching up on Ahsoka. Episodes 6 and 7.
Correct.
As opposed to Heinz 57.
Also correct.
67.
I don't know. It was a good try.
I don't know where I went with that,
but yeah, we are talking about the last 2 episodes of Ahsoka. Even though we got the finale coming tomorrow night, we got to cover these 2 in anticipation of the finale.
It's crazy to think that the finale is tomorrow night.
Yeah, and you can bet your ass I'll be watching the finale tomorrow, no matter what, even if it means no sleep before work the next day.
No sleep till Brooklyn.
But I mean, the internet and social media have gotten absolutely terrible when it comes to fucking spoilers.
You can't hide.
Yeah,
like it'll be on MSNBC, like a splash screen, just like you were talking about before. You open up a new tab, on friggin' Microsoft Edge, and oh, lo and behold, here is Balin Scar with a fucking bow and arrow through his head, or some bullshit. Oh my god, if that happens. I'm sorry.
Well, then he's got Balin-like foresight powers.
I saw into the future and saw a bow, just an arrow through his skull out the other side.
That would be an interesting way to take somebody out in the Star Wars universe, but
it would. Very analog.
Yeah, yeah, going old school. All right, what should we do now? Should we talk about Patreon?
You, sir, talk about Patreon.
All right. Well,
I sit over here.
I'm going off of an old read because Kristen is not around today and she could not update my reads. But we would like to give a huge shout out to all of our current patrons: Carly Vickers, Catherine Rennick, Dragon Buddy, David Schmuck, Frederick Martin, Shotgun Mark, Chantal from Pop My Culture, Wally Frogmore, Janine Vickers, my wonderful mother-in-law, Patricia Goodstein, Nick from Swede Studios, Scott and Kim from the Use and Abuse podcast, Frank Kalevich, Kristen Roscom, Don Solsky, Lord Helmet Fire, Ivo G, The Orange and Fett Show, Steve Long, Tina Land, Sterling Azier, and we had somebody new last week, and I can't remember who it was.
Helen Martin.
Helen Martin, yes, thank you.
Is my cousin Becky.
Okay.
Who unfortunately she wasn't able to come to our house yesterday, and I would have said thank you to her in person, but unfortunately she was tied up. But yes, thank you, Beck.
Yes. If you'd like to consider becoming a supporter, you can find us at patreon.com/thesidebarcantina. Thank you again to all of our listeners and supporters. You are the reason why we do this. Over to you.
Ebola?
What? Who's got Ebola?
I don't know. I saw Ebola in the thing. Jesus. Wally is sick.
Oh.
Well,
hopefully not with Ebola.
While you're sick, Wally, that should give you plenty of time to work on some nice, sweet drawings to put on your Instagram.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. because that's what you do selfishly so that we can all enjoy your product.
Yeah, for sure.
But so for the like sidebar headlines, yeah. I don't what? Remember Serge from Beverly Hills Cop? It was it was Balky, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, we are so old. That is like no, but those are references that like no kid even born in the 90s is gonna get.
Yeah, like, are you speaking English right now?
Right, English, motherfucker. It's like put a little bit of espresso. You like it? I don't know why. My fucking brain.
We've stopped trying to make sense of the things that go through your brain.
Yeah, don't. You'll go crazy trying to do that. So sidebar headlines. Week 3 props going out to losers, aka Scott of Use and Abuse. Just again with whatever accent is coming out of my mouth. Scott remains the only undefeated team in our sidebar Cantina Fantasy Football League. Shout out to Revenants, Atko Adats, Orange Jacketman, Return of the Swede, Hennifer's Hustus Warriors, who all brought home a W.
I feel like I'm the coach from Grease. You remember the first Grease? And he's having that big rally speech, and he's like, and after we win, we're going to come home and we're going to ring that bell like we've always wanted to. You know, I kind of feel like that right now, waiting for my first win.
My fantasy football teams were underwhelming by a million. I can't even. Like, it's just, I just wrote it off. I just wrote it off this weekend. I was just like, the fantasy football gods were not smiling upon the Dave for this weekend. I think if you do this accent, I think you'd have to do it in a third person. Like, this would be, like, we're talking about Dave. Like, this is Dave in the third person. Obviously.
I don't know if you need any more new personas to continue to fuck you up in the head.
If you aren't into football, these aren't the droids you're looking for. You can go about your business. Move along. I guess no, you know what? I think this is where this come from. It's the fucking it's the broad from The Incredibles.
The old lady that gave him the costumes and all that. Yeah.
I never look back, darling. It takes away from the now. Anyway.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. That's before I roll into something else.
Right. Okay, so first of all, I got a quick day in Star Wars. Nothing too spectacular, but it's very relevant right now. And that's for tomorrow, October 3rd.
October 3rd.
9 years ago.
94 years.
9 years ago, on October 3rd, Star Wars Rebels premiered.
9 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow, that is relevant.
That's obviously because of the Ahsoka tie-ins, but damn, it's hard to believe that it's already been 9 fucking years since that show started.
Yeah.
Which means it's been 5-ish years since it's been off the air.
The sacred Jedi cat.
We have to use the soundboard.
Clearly, a lot.
I'm contractually obligated to use the soundboard more.
Okay.
I've guaranteed certain people. I've told them. I've been asked, and I've told them, just like you with your fucking
the snaps.
I have to use the soundboard.
All right, fair enough.
Hence,
I'm curious who you have these backdoor agreements with, but whatever.
Those who know.
All right, fair enough.
You know who you are.
So yeah, anyway, quick day in Star Wars. Now, before we get into our weeks, I have something I wanted to ask you, and I want to ask you this on the air while we have people listening who can kind of help us come to a conclusion here. So,
no, they cut it all out. I'm sorry, what was the question?
I don't know where you were going with that. So, all right, so we're about to finish up Ahsoka, right?
Right.
Finale's tomorrow, and we know because of the writers and the actor strikes that everything that was in development came to a halt, which means they're probably going to delay Skeleton Crew to next year, and who knows when we're going to see fucking Acolyte and or season 2, because those were both in production when everything fucking shut down. So, you know, I'm sitting here thinking like, fuck, what other Star Wars topics can we do? And, there's two things that I came up with that we could potentially do. And, I want to get your inputs and the listener inputs. First of all, Resistance. We never did anything with Resistance. We talked about like the first fucking episode and then didn't do anything with it. I haven't even seen anything beyond the season premiere. Apparently it's got some canon relevance, like the stupid senator who hates Hera. Apparently he's the dad of the main character in Resistance. And I guess the senator guy makes an appearance in the show.
So his brother's sister's former roommate.
Yeah.
It's.
But anyway,
I got a box of. Oh no, the box is empty, of the fucks that I give.
Oh my god!
Down here about that.
Okay.
I really don't. Yeah. All right. The audience needs to.
Right, and that's why I wanted to ask you on air. So
the audience needs to basically tell me that this needs to be a thing.
Yeah. Because
when I saw the first episodes, I really felt like this was not geared toward me, even though it's like flying, and there's just too much. It's just too squishy. It was just too squishy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't do squishy.
Okay.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Now,
that's something with my anxiety, I think. But it just felt squishy.
And I do know that they did gear it towards a younger audience. I'll fully admit that.
Right.
So that's one proposal that I had. Another one was we technically never finished every episode of Clone Wars. We were going through the seasons episode by episode, and then by the time we got to season 3 or something, we're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, we skipped ahead, or we did these are the things.
So we could try to get caught up on that and try to catch all the episodes we missed.
Well, and we have a record, obviously, of the episodes we didn't talk about.
Because it's all in the show descriptions.
Because podcast.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I really I'm looking at the chat trying to I feel like between the two, I like the idea of going back and rewatching all of Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, we wouldn't start from the beginning. We'd pick up where we left off.
Right.
Yeah.
To a point. I think I might start from a running start into where we left off. Just because we're really as we talk about Ahsoka, we're gaining an appreciation of what we got in Clone Wars, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So starting kind of fresh from the beginning with a new mindset and then going into it probably has some relevance. But at the same time, doing Resistance is kind of like doing new content because we never did it.
Right.
And we know the outcome of Clone Wars, whereas with the Resistance, we don't really know we don't know the plot points.
Yeah.
So there's probably more meat to that bone for Resistance.
Yeah, because we hit the major bullet points of Clone Wars.
We did. And I'm sure there's... What I don't want to have happen is we're watching early episodes of Clone Wars and we're like, oh my God, I want to hang myself because if I see another fucking droid adventure, I'm going to just step out in the traffic.
And that's the risk we run, right? Yes. Of watching those episodes that we missed. Because there were a handful of those as we were going through it initially.
But there was, and we get shit in the chat all the time because if you watched the Clone Wars, you would have known this.
Right.
That this fucking random person existed.
Or that Hu Yang was a droid who helped the kids build lightsabers and all that.
But see, and now that pushes me towards the other side of that the fence there. So really, I don't know. I think let's leave it up to the listeners.
Okay.
I think let's throw the ball in their court.
We can do some polls.
Yes.
And then there's one other thing I wanted to add in there. So our good friend Mr. Bob Healy is a massive Firefly fan. He finally convinced me to watch Firefly.
Yeah.
So I'm halfway through the first episode and I'm like, okay, hold on. I stopped it. I'm like, this is something that I think Kristen would want to watch with me. So I stopped watching it right there. And B, I'm like, fuck, we might want to do this for the show also. So I don't know if you've ever watched the show.
We could do Firefly. I'd rewatch it.
Okay, so you have seen it all?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay. Because, I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, man, this has got like a really, like a cool feel to it. Like a, like a neat.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Okay, so, we might want to add that to our rotation as well.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't mind doing Firefly.
All right.
I think we can get I think there's an audience out there that we could probably bring into some awkward conversations.
Sure. And
because there's a huge Firefly fan base.
Oh yeah,
that's out there.
And like I said, Bob's one of them. When you go down into his basement, he's got pictures along the wall going down the stairs, and it's all pictures of the Firefly crew going all the way down. Like he's all about that show.
What service is that on right now?
It's on Hulu.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Of course, I just got rid of Hulu.
I'm sure there's other.
I'll figure it out.
Alternative routes.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So yeah. I wanted to bring up those three things because those all kind of came up in my head recently, and I'm trying to think of ways to fill the gap as we wait for more Star Wars content.
Yeah.
And then, we were also talking about novels and stuff like that too. So.
Well, I think novels are always good because we have time in the car.
Yeah.
Right. If we're listening to it, at least for you, you have time in the car, and if we do like we were talking about, then I'll just sit down and reread it.
Okay.
Like, I think I'll need it, like kind of a refresh.
Sure. Yeah.
For some other shit that I'm doing. God damn it, my fucking brain is just not.
Yeah. Though, fuck, I didn't think about the whole you going back to school when I thought about like the novel part, especially.
I've read it.
Okay.
So for me, it's not like the novels that we were talking about. I've already read.
Yeah, that's true.
So for me, it's a rehash. It's not like sitting down and doing it for the first time. So it's not as big a deal.
You could always get the Cliff Note. Cliff Notes.
Is there?
Do they still make those? Cliff Notes?
I think they do.
Yeah.
Although with the internet.
Yeah, that's true. But fuck, man, in the I'm seeing a couple of people shitting on Resistance in the chat, so I have a feeling I know what the poll results is going to be. But we'll wow, Swede will boycott any episodes of Resistance. That's a bold statement. It was really that bad? All right. Yeah, all right. I mean, I may end up just watching it on my own though, just because I'm so fucking curious. I said it before. I love the art style in that show.
Sure. I just think, yeah, maybe you can watch it and you can go like, yeah, I needed some sort of fucking enema afterwards because I just crapped out my mouth. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, I know after watching a couple of episodes of it, I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, again, we'll let the people decide. We'll talk to Lunar Girl and probably get something up on our social media this week. And polls, lots of polls.
She said she shall do the polls.
Yeah, I bet she will.
She shall do the polls. Oh yeah.
All right.
So I think that I have to get this out now, so it's out of my face.
All right.
Before, because somebody, I think it was Rick in the chat, said something about. This is the part of Sprockets where we dance. Remember that from fucking Saturday Night Live?
For which sketch are we talking?
The Sprockets. Remember there was the Sprockets show? It was a dance show, and it was like German.
I don't remember that.
No? Google that shit right now.
Well, hold on. Who was
right now?
What era?
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers? Okay.
Yes.
SNL. Mike Myers. What was it called?
Sprockets. SPROC.
Oh yeah, there it is, right there.
Is it like all silver?
Yeah. Well, he's in a like full black suit, and, turtleneck, the glasses.
Dita. This is the part of Sprockets where we dance. You don't have to play the whole thing. I don't want to get. I don't
get us copyrighted.
Yeah.
I don't know if the people can even hear it, honestly. So, did you guys hear that?
I can hear it.
Well, yeah, you can, and it'll probably show up on the audio. But anyway. Are we ready to get into our weeks?
Yeah.
All right. So I've been holding these for a couple of weeks, but I have additions to
The sacred Jedi
Pops.
Nope.
The sacred Jedi
I had a 50-50 shot. I missed it.
And you lose. All right.
No, they couldn't hear, she said. So.
Okay. So this whole Black Series reveal I dedicate to Bronco Fett because every single one of these are ones that I intend to open. So last time we talked about Black Series, I revealed this guy. I got a holiday Scout Trooper with Grogu in there to open because I already have one up there.
Right.
So over the last couple of weeks, I finished last year's holiday set and got every one of the others to open. So we got the Gingerbread Clone Trooper.
That's awesome.
The Christmassy First Order Trooper.
It's
got
a porg in a little Santa outfit.
Yep. The holiday protocol droid.
Is that protocol droid in a singlet? What the fuck is it wearing? Oh, it's a scarf. It looked like a singlet from look quick.
And he's got what's his name from Fallen Order in there.
Got BD1.
Yeah. Which is pretty awesome. And then the Mandalorian with a little wolfy thing guy in there. What is that again?
Loth Wolf? No, that can't be. No, that's fuck. Also from Fallen Order. Oh god, I've pet 100,000 of these fucking things. Why can't I think of what they are? Help, chat. Help before I fucking go insane.
And
that guy.
So the reason I bought all these
What is that guy?
To open is at work.
That's awesome.
My coworkers go crazy. Well, some of them go crazy for like decorating their desk, their cubes for Christmas. So, and they're like putting pressure on everybody to do it again. So I'm going to do a Star Wars Christmas. I already have like the little Star Wars tree with the little Star Wars ornaments, and then I'll have a whole Black Series display.
Nice.
And then when they're not on display for Christmas at work, I'll bring them in here and put them somewhere.
Perfect.
Where
need to print you up some stands.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, might need a few more because GameStop had another clearance deal last week.
Jesus.
The sacred Jedi.
So in addition to like all of the ones that I've gotten before, which there's still a bunch of those online, something new went on clearance. And between like the clearance sale, they had like a buy one get two free, and then a coupon that I used. These all ended up coming out to $9 each.
Wow.
So I had to get 9 of them. And it's all the same one, but it is the rocket launcher Stormtrooper.
Oh wow.
From I think this is also from Fallen Order. Yeah, Gaming Greats from Jedi Fallen Order. So I got 9 of these bad boys, with the intention of opening all of them. So, see, here they are. Hey.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Because I always knew, anytime I find troopers that go on any kind of sale or clearance, I'm going to scoop up a shitload of them to open. So, yeah.
I wish they re-released some TIE Fighter pilots, because they haven't put out a TIE Fighter pilot in a while.
The Return of the Jedi, they put out a TIE Fighter pilot.
They did, and I have that one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the only one.
But it's been a minute.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, newly presented one, because that's basically the same one. There's not very many variations of it.
No.
Like, the best one that I've seen, besides like just I have a TIE Fighter pilot that has the markings from the very first time you see it on film.
Yeah. And those are different?
Yeah, it has he has markings on his helmet.
Oh.
It has I forget exactly what it is, but you can see like these markings on his helmet, and it's different than a standard. Yeah, if you look at a standard TIE pilot.
Interesting.
And it's how when the first time you see the pilot, it's that close up in cockpit, and you just all you see is the helmet.
Yeah.
Right. That's your first introduction to a TIE pilot, and it's that helmet, and it's got this these symbology on the top of the helmet.
Huh.
So there a TIE pilot came out with that symbology. So I have that Black Series figure.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's that one, the plain one, and then there's the one with
I know the one from Battlefront 2.
Right. That one with the red.
The Inferno Squadron.
Inferno Squadron.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a sweet
That
one.
one's really nice. I have that in box and out of box.
Keep talking.
And then I have one other one. I have several. I have a lot of TIE pilots. I really do. So, yeah. And he's back.
Yep. So that's my. Hey, Jaina, come here. Come here. Whoa. So there's another little thing that happened this week. For those of you watching on YouTube right now, you can see my little friend here. Her name is Jaina. We got a new addition to the family. So we adopted her last Thursday. We picked her up from a local shelter. She's, they think she's part Chihuahua and part some kind of terrier.
She's a little camera shy.
Yeah. Normally she's a very loving dog. She's
it took her, what, 30 seconds of awkward sniffing, because, obviously I have dogs at home. But she's so sleepy.
Yeah, she's tired. She's like falling asleep in my hands right now.
But yeah, she was just after a good some investigating, and then she's just like super friendly, jumped into my lap, and so sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, we got her. Her name is Jaina. So we wanted to name her after something pop culture-y, and we landed on Jaina because it actually hits two things for us. So her full name is Jaina Proudmoore Solo. So
Proudmoore.
Yeah. So people in the know will know what the reference is.
Okay.
But yep. Oh, there she is. All right. You want to go back?
I was sleeping.
I know.
And you disturbed me.
I woke her up just to put her on camera. So, but yeah, she's chilling in the studio with us today.
I have you know what? I'll text it to Lunar Girl right now. Hang on.
Okay.
I have a picture of her sitting in Jason's chair before the show.
Yeah.
So let me text that to Lunar Girl now so I don't forget.
Yep. Oh, and she just plopped back in her crate without even being told to. So she's a good dog. She's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like an ultimate cuddler too. Like I'll sit down on my bed for 2 seconds and she'll be right there in my lap, falling asleep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
She is. She's very sweet. Very, very cute.
Yeah. Oh, somebody got the reference. Smirky Bear Studios got it.
Nice.
And, she's been great. Like, no accidents in the house. She, for the most part, listens to us. Doesn't like chew up furniture or anything. She's been phenomenal. And
don't worry, everyone. I knocked on wood for him.
Yeah, she gets. I saw that too. I'm watching. She gets along well with our other dog, and she fits in absolutely perfectly with the family.
So we've been doing this for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
6 years or something.
Yeah.
I don't think Indy's ever been on the show.
Maybe not.
I don't think Indy has ever been on the show.
Yeah, I mean, we can fix that.
After 6 years, Jane has been here for what, a week?
Yeah, less than a week, and
boom,
she's already front and center.
Yeah. I mean, I think it has something to do with girl dogs and boy dogs. I'm not gonna lie. I prefer to have girl dogs.
Yeah. I've heard that they're better.
It's just, I've historically growing up, the dogs I had as grew up with as a kid and everything, German Shepherds especially, like they tend to be really clingy to the male, and just better overall with like being housebroken and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And look, she's in here. She's being perfect.
Yep.
Jump right in your lap, super friendly. It's so awesome.
Yeah, she never barks or anything. It's great.
Yeah, you get spoiled. You get spoiled with something like that.
I know. So anyway, moving on from the dog. Since we're not having a show next week, I'll talk about it this week. I am going home to California in a week and a half. This is for the Beach Boys concert. I think I talked about this on the show before, where I'm taking my mom to a Beach Boys concert in my hometown.
You did mention something, but I'm pretty sure that was on the air.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Anyway, that's happening.
Yeah. So yeah, next week I'm going home to California, and I'm so excited, mostly to take my Steam Deck on the road. Because like I'll sit here and I'll just play it all day in my fucking in my bed, like when I'm off, and like I can't wait to actually get it on the road, like go on an airplane and just sit there and play it on an airplane, and
I don't blame you. It's pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, it's all loaded up and ready to roll. So
it makes me wish I could convert, get the iPad to do that capability.
I'm sure there's probably ways to do it.
Yeah, but it's not. Like this thing is this is geared towards work.
Yeah.
This iPad is geared towards work. It just is.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It serves its purpose and it does its job well.
Yeah.
It's not a gaming platform. It just isn't. This laptop is more geared for gaming than this is, because this I can actually Bluetooth an Xbox controller to it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was playing Jedi Survivor on it.
Nice.
So yeah, that's awesome. I'm jealous. I would enjoy a Steam Deck in my stocking, maybe for Christmas.
Oh, okay. Hopefully somebody's listening.
Probably not.
Like Santa.
It's too early.
But yeah, so the next time we do a show, I'll have just gotten back from that, so I'll be talking about really.
I hadn't pushed it in a while, so I had to.
So yeah, I'll talk all about my experience on the next show. And the last thing, as always, Niners baby, and Niners and Eagles were the last two undefeated teams.
Yeah,
So,
it's
football's been fucking exciting this year so far.
Yeah, especially for you.
Yeah,
the Niners have been dominating.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've got a good test next week, the Cowboys. So
they do, and I have to unfortunately root. Well, I'm rooting for the Niners, obviously.
Yeah, why would you ever want the Cowboys to win?
Exactly. But I also want the 49ers to play somebody like good.
Yeah.
I feel like the schedule's been a little soft against you guys, so I want to see how you perform. But fucking hell, man, Christian McCaffrey is a good football player.
Yeah, he is.
He can play this game very well.
Mm-hmm.
And Purdy's been playing well. I mean, he hasn't had to do anything spectacular. He just is. He's like a machine back there.
Yeah.
He's an AI in playing Madden, and you're the receiver, right?
Right.
You're just running the route, and all of a sudden the ball gets to you. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, he's made a couple of throws this season that I'm like, oh, like
he's gotten away with them.
Yeah, so
that's what you got to do. Yeah, shit. It's not easy to win in the NFL. I mean, it just is. Jalen Hurts said it after the game yesterday. It's like the NFL wins are hard to get.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
You got to work your ass off every single week.
They just are, and especially teams that are like in that top tier. Everyone is giving you their best shot every fucking week.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you got to contend with.
Sounds exhausting.
Yeah. Well, it is.
Yeah. So,
anyway,
but yeah, that's it. Just football's going well.
Yeah.
You
hear that?
I think it's my neighbor across the street.
God.
Yeah.
I hope nobody's in the car that's making that noise. Like that.
I'm sure somebody is.
How do you know that you're old when you're like, turn down that radio?
Yeah.
You're gonna lose your hearing if you keep doing that.
Yeah, and you would think, because our generation, I know there were a lot of people at my school that had the like fucking like
and
you can hear this shit from like 2 blocks away.
And they didn't make cars. Like, I feel like today they make cars with like the plastic and everything is better, put together better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you take a 1986 Ford Mustang and you would put all that bass in there, and the plastic would just rattle off the fucking car.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's just like, it's just like, forget it. The dashboard would fucking rotate and fucking start coming off the fucking car. Like, it just was not designed for that at all.
So you would think that there'd be like a whole generation of people who like have some pretty serious hearing loss. But
I mean, that's probably us. I mean, let's face it.
Oh yeah, no, I sat in plenty
that,
of those cars before.
That and aircraft engines. I mean,
yeah. What? Anyway, so yeah, that's
turn
it for
on my headphones.
that's it for my week.
So in my week, I want to wish my daughter Kate a happy birthday.
Hooray!
It was her birthday weekend, so happy birthday, Kate. She is most likely not listening because she doesn't listen. Because she's embarrassed by me, and I don't blame her.
Right. But she calls you mid-show.
She does.
A
She
lot.
does. And then remembers halfway through that, oh my God, you're doing a podcast. Like I do every Monday. She's her mother's daughter. Because Kathy does it too.
Yeah.
But yes, happy birthday, Kate. And yes, I am addicted to the soundboard.
My penis is so smooth.
So yes, and Dave did find a solution to his headphone problem from the other week.
Yeah, just the tip.
Just the tip.
My penis is so smooth.
So, so it was Kate's birthday. We had my sister-in-law's wedding this weekend, which was very nice. It was nice being a spectator in an event as opposed to having to like work an event, being a part of it or taking pictures or something like that.
Right.
I may or may not have been hypercritical of the photographer,
of course,
which because
it's you,
because Dave, right. But here's the thing, so fix the tip.
My penis is so smooth.
It's a learning experience, right? When I think about it after the fact, I was watching and critiquing, but at the same time looking and saying like, okay, if I was going to do, I've done a couple weddings,
like coordinated weddings.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's awful.
Yeah. No, it sounds terrible.
And here's why it's bad, right? You have a captive audience and everyone will listen to you because it's a wedding, right? But the result, like if you don't get the shot that the person is looking for, like if for some reason it doesn't come out or it's not the right angle or something like that, you can't go back to that moment ever.
Yeah.
Like you want to make sure that you've gotten every potential shot that you can get.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the reasons, like, I know I did second shooter for Chad, for different events that Chad was working when he was doing doing some gigs. And I think that's why it's important to have a second photographer there to make sure that like you're getting different angles and you're getting the moment from a different perspective, because your customer is going to have more options, like to be able to see the moment.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's the most terrifying part.
And they don't blame you for ruining their wedding or anything.
Right. Like because everyone's kind of waiting for the pictures, right? Because it's like, wedding pictures are such a huge thing and it's a lifetime event. Mm-hmm. So that what's scary about going into weddings is like, oh my God, this is like angry brides are fucking terrifying things.
Yeah.
So it's not something you want to deal with. So that there's that factor. It's just, I'd rather go into combat than fucking deal with that shit. But yeah, so I was like at this wedding, I'm critiquing all the angles, and it was tough. It was a tough lighting day, and I felt bad for her because she was working her ass off, but she could have really benefited from a second person. Mm-hmm. I wasn't volunteering. I was a spectator. Yeah, that was the best part.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the wedding was beautiful overall. It was a really nice setting. So, and like I said, it was fun being a spectator. So that we had that during the week. For those of you that know, I mentioned it earlier. I enjoy the golf, and I'm obviously pro America, especially for sports teams and shit like that. So the Ryder Cup was this weekend. So for those of you that aren't familiar, the Ryder Cup which would be Jason. The Ryder Cup is a team format sport golf tournament where it's the United States versus Europe.
Ah, okay.
So they have a team captain. The captain, there's picks that are kind of made for him based on ranking, and then he has captain's picks. And then they set lineups and do stuff like that. Historically, the U.S. cannot win on European soil for whatever reason. Like their home field advantage is devastating. We went there with the Ryder Cup, and we lost it pretty handily because, my opinion, this guy's opinion, they didn't you took really good golfers that didn't prepare for how to play with each other.
My penis is so smooth.
And you have to there's gamesmanship, and there's ways that if you have a partner, you're playing in a tournament, when you're so used to playing your own shot, your own ball, you're playing against everyone else and the golf course, and then now you're playing against another team, and you have to count on your playing partner. Your partner's counting on you. If you go into that cold, you're not going to prevail.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. They got the shit kicked out of them on Friday and Saturday. Damn. And then Sunday, when they got in singles, they started to come back, but Europe just kicked the shit out of them. And it was in Rome. There was the crowds were insane.
Really?
Oh yeah.
At a golf tournament?
There was probably like 80,000 people there.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh dude, it's a thing. I'm trying to get out to Adair. So you remember when we used to go to Adair all the time?
Oh yeah.
It's at Adair in 2027.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get out there for that one.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah.
I'd love to go back there.
Yeah, it's just the idea of going back there because we have so much history there. Like we used to fly when we would fly into Shannon all the time. We had a hookup there. It's a story for another time. But I've played golf there a handful of times.
Yeah.
So they're playing it on that course.
Oh man.
You know, so it's a golf course that I played. We have a bunch of history there. Like it'd be really nice for the fucking Americans to show up and actually potentially win. So bucket list thing. Really want to go and do that.
So sidebar real quick. One quick story about Adair Manor. One of the times I was there was the first time I'd ever seen anybody, because we're talking like 2009, 2010 timeframe. The first time I'd ever seen somebody make like art in the foam of a beer. Like they poured me a Guinness and did like a fucking shamrock on there. I'm like, nice. Whoa, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had such a cool, was that in the basement bar or was that in the one upstairs in the
upstairs bar,
the clubhouse?
Yeah.
They had a really cool basement bar, and so Adair Manor has this like it's a manor house. It was built 18th century. No, I think it's older than that. It's an old. It's not a castle. It's a manor house, so it's big. There's castle ruins on the property. Like, so when you're playing golf, you kind of play through.
Wally, you need to chill out with that shit. That's not funny. Say the line.
Yeah. Wally wants to see you get killed. Just because Wally's in a fever dream, he wants to see somebody get bleed out, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, they had this basement bar, and it was like super, like the atmosphere. It was the prototypical, like what you would think at a bar in Ireland, below this fucking manor, this old as shit manor house, ancient beams going across. It was dark. There was stone walls. Like it was unfucking believable, and wow. It was just awesome, just awesome. Excuse me. So
anyway, I could tell more stories, but we need to move on.
Oh yeah, we could do a whole fucking show about it there, honestly. Yeah. So I watched the Ryder Cup. The Americans lose the Ryder Cup, and it was fucking aggravating because Zach Thomas didn't have him, or Zach Johnson didn't have him ready to fucking play team. So I was irritated by that. I'm happy. Then that was Sunday morning, and then the Eagles played, and that game was fucking stressful as shit.
Yeah, the overtime game.
So every fucking game, every game has been for one reason or another. There's some level of stress, right? There always seems to be, and this game obviously was no exception. And it's just I took the TV out of one of the guest rooms and I mounted it outside because it was so nice out yesterday.
Yeah,
it was insane.
It was nice today too. It was really nice outside.
I was outside for maybe 10 minutes today.
Oh.
So I had the TV outside. We had like pizza. I had Rick over, which I'll talk about here in a second, and watching the game outside. And it was a great day. But fuck me, watching the Eagles has literally taken it, not years, but I know it's taken minutes equaling to months off of my life.
Right.
Starting from when I was like probably 8 to 9 years old and then going from there.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the stress, being around the stress of being people who were stressing about the Eagles and then adopting that stress as I got older and then like
right.
fully engaging in that stress from when I was like fucking 16 years old all the way up until the present day.
Mm-hmm.
In my 48th year, it's like literally I can't. I question my sanity. Like, why do I fucking do this to myself?
Right.
So, yeah, it was fucking. After that, I couldn't watch any more football. I was like, I don't care about fantasy football today. I'm just not engaged with any more football today.
Yeah.
But this week coming up, which since we're not going to be able to talk about it, we'll talk about it, I guess, in a couple weeks, the aftermath. But so the Phillies, my baseball team, made the playoffs. Playoffs.
My penis is so smooth.
I don't know. It's the only thing I had with a P in it.
Yeah.
Go Birds. So, girl, she's a Giants fan. It's fine. So Phillies made the playoffs. I got playoff tickets for Wednesday. So Kathy and I are going to the game on Wednesday. So super excited about that. But the game starts at 8. It's like 8:08. It's the first fucking pitch.
Wow. Getting home after midnight.
You're right. I'm like, we said this at the wedding. Like there was a group of us, and we're like ready for bed at 9 o'clock people now.
Oh yeah.
That was, and it was funny about the wedding vibe that was going on was that it was all like, it's Kathy's older sister, right? So we're all about the same age.
Sure. And
so everyone who's there is like about the same age, or like, older cousins and, some younger. Anyway, we had the kids there, but for the most part, everyone was in the same demographic. And to a person, everyone had a great time, but it was, you could tell, like, this is like, okay, if I could be in bed by 10 o'clock, this would be great.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't feel like I'm not fucking staying up partying tonight. Like, I didn't even drink because I drove Kate and Ryan and Kathy home.
Yeah.
Right. So they could drink and do whatever. I was like, no, I'm not drinking. And I still had a good time. But it was like, there was a group of us standing around going like, we're ready for bed.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 9 o'clock and we're ready. Are we winding this down? Like,
so you were getting that vibe from other people there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Totally. I was like, it's just, how do you know you're getting old? Like, all right, we're at a wedding with a bunch of people our age, and yeah, that's kind of how it went. Not in a negative way. It's just that's where we're at in our lives, right? So
I'm right there with you.
Going to the Phillies game at 8 o'clock at night is going to be it's going to be hard. But the playoff games, if it's anything like the last game I went to last year, it's the vibe is it's intense.
Oh, I bet.
It's exciting, and I think Kathy's excited. It's her first playoff game, so
good.
It'll be a good time.
Did they was it a wild card or did they win their division?
No, it's a wild card game.
Okay.
So when we're playing the Marlins, so and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
If we can get a nice ride out of it like we did last year, that would be fucking amazing. But we'll see. So we're doing that.
All right. Good shit.
That's coming up. But I got one more thing.
All right.
So I mentioned that Rick came over.
Yep.
And
it's always a party when Rick's around.
That's right. And he he brought get your so he's been cleaning up his childhood home and finding stuff.
Yeah, which anybody who was at Celebration saw a lot of his
a lot of
good
Star
stuff.
Wars shows and stuff. So
Sidebar Celebration.
Celebration. And I had mentioned like, hey, like for Tinker Toys and stuff like that is something that I wouldn't mind.
Oh shit. Oh man, how long has it been since I've held one of these?
Right?
Holy fuck.
And here's some of the
wow.
Some of the more modern, aka like probably the late 80s.
Yeah.
Tinker Toys. But yeah, Tinker Toys were the fucking bomb. I mean, it was it was the poor man's Lego.
Yeah, these things were like a mainstay when I would go to my grandparents' house.
Yes,
like they would have like a box of these or Lincoln Logs.
Same exact like Lincoln Logs. And when Rick and I, when we'd stay we'd be at Camp Nana every summer, right? for Vacation Bible School, we would stay at my we'd stay at my grandparents' house for the week, and Rick and I we'd build Tinker Toys. And I remember the one year when we built on the Tinker Toy can, like, this you're talking about.
Yeah, the cans with the lids that.
Yeah, there was like the cardboard tin that had the metal, or the cardboard with the tin lid.
Yeah.
It had a ship on it. Right, it made out of Tinker Toys, and the one year we built the ship with the fucking string on it and everything. Oh my god, it was the best. It was the best. It was just the absolute fucking best.
That's great.
So, yeah, I have a soft spot for Tinker Toys, and Lincoln Logs were great too. But the Tinker Toys were. This was the beginning of my engineering.
Yeah.
Desire.
Yeah, you had more options with Tinker Toys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Lincoln Logs taught you things like structural stability.
Yeah. Gotta have the 4 walls, and you gotta stack them.
Yeah, and if you stack too high, you start getting lean. So you have to when you're making walls, the purpose of the short, you had the longer ones. You had the 3-4 pronged ones, but then you had shorter ones so that you could make actually make supports. So.
Oh yeah, I remember that well.
Yeah. So this is, and I didn't have a lot of Legos as a kid, but I had access to Tinker Toys, and it was fucking great.
Nice.
He also, that's a different thing. So this was a childhood Transformer toy, not a Transformer,
right?
Like an off-brand one.
Yeah.
This was one of ours that was in our staple. It's really simple. We played with that thing constantly.
Yeah.
It was just one of the staple toys in the rotation.
Does it go like that? Oh, yep. Look at that!
Just
fucking
like that.
Nailed it.
Yeah, it still looks great.
Yeah.
And the fucking fists pop out.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it was fucking great.
Look at that shit.
We did. Oh God, Rick, I remember that. One year out of Tinker Toys, we made the Proton Pack from Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah,
out of Tinker Toys.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh, it was fucking awesome. So yeah, he brought that over, and he also brought so this is his, but I'm going to work on it for him. Check out this Dinobot, man.
I think I fucked this up.
It's fine. You can't do any more damage to it than we did as a kid. So,
holy shit. This is.
So it's a newer.
I was gonna say this can't be from the 80s. Well, first of all, this is what it looks like.
Yeah. So I'm gonna work on that because the tail's broken. So I'm actually gonna work on either printing a new post or making a better mechanical connection there.
This is good though. Isn't
that?
This is so much better quality than like the shit that came out that I bought for Rob when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Because at that time, around the time of the live action movie, the quality on those was just shit. But this is like good quality material.
Yeah. So that's going to be. The repair of that'll end up on the restoration station later on our YouTube channel.
I love his tiny arms.
so smooth.
Yeah. My penis is so smooth.
All right.
And you can see where the tail would go.
Yeah.
So yeah, look for this repair on restoration station.
Nice.
Under the guise of that, he also bought me a new Transformer.
What?
Check this guy out.
What? Oh, it's fucking what's his name? Oh God, the guy, the guy. People. Braun. Okay. Is that who I was thinking of?
You might as well go with it, Jason.
Yeah. Is it? Oh, this is from the Transformers the movie. You got the touch. Wait a minute. What the fuck is this? Look at this box. They're trying to go like Black Series.
Yeah. So
are you shitting me? Look, he's even got a number.
Yeah, so no, well, so the 86 series it's all, and I'm getting this information because Rick gave it to me. So this is not my subject matter expertise. This is definitely Rick.
Yeah.
But the 86 series is all about they're doing all the characters that are in the movie.
Oh,
right?
God damn.
And they're scaling all of them. So yes. So Braun is going to be scaled properly to Optimus and all the other ones.
Fucking hell. And again, they're presenting, look, well, it's Hasbro, of course. So,
Right.
but yeah, they're presenting them in kind of like a Black Series type of boxing.
And honestly, inside the box there, you could display him it's almost like gives you a background, a backdrop.
Oh, yeah. I saw that on the backside, yeah.
So, yeah, the transform on him, I was...
And he looks good. He looks great.
It's a great transform. I'll probably dick around with it while we're talking about Ahsoka, just because idle hands.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and I messed with it a bunch of times. And the only issue I had while transforming him, there was just a little bit of extra paint on one of the tabs.
Mm-hmm.
That I just kind of took a file to just a little bit, and then everything's set in there perfect. It was fucking great.
Yeah.
Just a great little.
Oh my god, how many of these do they have?
Oh, dude.
Studio series. I gotta look it up. I have to look it up.
You're
Transformers Studio Series. Oh, motherfucker.
Dude, you're opening Pandora's box right now.
Oh, Ultra Magnus.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, the fucking guy with the
Like I said, you're opening Pandora's box right now.
Dinobots. So many of the Dinobots.
And these are so well put together.
Yeah.
Like I'm so impressed with the transform and the posability.
Yeah, the quality is great. Again, just like Black Series and the G.I. Joe Classified, they really went all in on the quality of these toys.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't throw them off the top of the building, but
yeah. Well, obviously.
All right, so just for the sake of time, since we're already an hour in.
Oh shit, are we?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So I was supposed to bring this out for Celebration.
Oh, Holocron?
Right. So this is something that Vickers printed up.
Damn.
Yeah. And he gave it to me to put together, and I was for Celebration.
Yeah.
Celebration. And I finally glued it together, which, by the way, CA glue, super glue, when it's on your hands and you have open cuts and then you put the accelerator on it, it burns like you're on fire.
I bet.
So I 10 out of 10 don't recommend doing that. Just that's my PSA for today. And I think there's still actually some glue on my fucking fingers. But yeah, I got a wild hair at my ass because ADHD and decided to put this together.
Is that a specific holocron? Because it looks like the one that fucking Ezra had in Rebels.
I do not know.
Yo, is there a light going on inside?
So yeah, I bought a little candle light to put in there. Wow. So when it printed, it has the design on it.
Yeah.
Now I need to figure out how to get something a little bit brighter in there. Rick suggested the battery operated kind of fairy lights.
I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of see it in there.
Yeah, it's tough. We'd have to get it in a little darker space, but yeah, it's super super cool, and it's that same kind of, hey, you can print it with a level of translucence so that when you put light behind it, you can see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a tea light, but yeah, this was supposed to be on display at Celebration, but I fucking
Celebration.
I lost track of it, and then just because squirrel. And he also printed this.
What the?
Which is perfect.
Is this an alien crab? Shit.
It's time.
Oh God, we haven't even started on the main topic either.
It is not.
Oh my God.
Hey, Jana.
Oh, she heard the alarm. She's like, "What is that?"
Yeah, he printed this also. Man, 3D printers are so.
Yeah, that's an alien crab, right?
I think
from Alien. With it's on the fucking face.
I think
as it's like impregnating
it's
them.
a face hugger. Yeah. Yeah, this was all. It's just printed just like this.
Yeah.
No assembly required. It just comes off with this level of flexibility. So feel free to.
Wait, he had to have assembled it, right? I'm sure the finger pieces were separate. They had to have been.
No.
What?
It prints like that.
Fuck you. Bullshit. There's no way. No, there's no way it prints like this. He had to have assembled some.
I'm pretty sure, because I asked the same question. I'm almost positive it printed like that.
Ah! How does it look on camera? I can't really see it. I'll have an alien baby in a couple days. Is that you?
Vickers is texting me right now. Oh God, he's printing these. I think I talked about it. He's printing the adult Nerf guns.
Yeah, you did mention
that. Anyway, yeah, that's a.
So is that everything for show and tell?
Penis so smooth.
Yeah, print in place. That's how it came out of the printer.
That's unbelievable.
It's the printers are insane, dude.
Yeah,
they're absolutely insane. And Ryan just brought my other printer back, so I'm gonna hopefully not f up the printer I got for Christmas. But yeah, you should get one.
Yeah,
I know a guy.
Yeah. Just more to add to the list of things to do.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I had.
All right.
We got Tinker Toys and Black Series figures and puppies.
It's unbelievable. So much good stuff.
Fucking Christmas.
Yep. All right. I guess we should probably get into the main topic, huh? Since
we should. We absolutely should.
we're an hour in and we haven't talked anything about Ahsoka yet. So, all right. You don't need a break or anything, right?
No.
All right, so let's get right into part 6, titled Far, Far Away. And it starts because as we left off last episode, Ahsoka tamed one of the fucking whales, it got in his mouth, and they're off to the other galaxy. What are you looking at? Is it Jaina?
She's staring into the cabinet, like staring intently into the cabinet, like something was there looking at her.
Yeah.
That was intense. What'd you see?
Should I lock her away so she doesn't distract us? Come on. So yeah, anyway, we left off with Ahsoka in the mouth of a space whale blasting towards the other galaxy, and that's where we pick up in this one. And the opening line in this was fucking hilarious. It's Hu Yang, and he's at the controls, and the line is, and I quote, "Intergalactic travel within a star whale. Now I really have done it all."
Can I say that Hu Yang is really, he's gone down as my favorite droid.
Yeah, like I could see that.
Like especially after this episode. Yeah, it was this episode, because when they're coming out of so it's this one. No, it's between these two episodes, he like solidified himself as this is my favorite droid.
Yeah.
Like he has so many good one-liners, and they're not like, it's not like 3PO forced like comedy.
Yeah.
It's like actual back and forth, like he has sentience.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, he's very smart, very wise, but also a bit of a smart ass, you know, as some droids tend to be.
Yeah, he has the cojones to pull it off. I mean, we've seen him fight.
Yeah, that's true.
He trains lightsabers. I mean, yeah, he's got legitimate props.
Yo, I think we might have missed an opportunity to see him like fight with lightsabers, like Grievous style, at some point.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's still to come. We got one episode left, but
okay.
So yeah, no, I thought that opening line was fucking hilarious, though. It was really good. And him and Ahsoka are having a back and forth about first like the old stories he used to tell, and he mentions like, oh yes, History of the Galaxy parts 1, 2, and 3, and now it's just got me like, oh my god, let's hear it. Tell me the stories.
Yeah. Or where are those books?
Yeah.
Write those books.
Yeah, add them to the sacred Jedi texts.
Yes.
You know?
I push the button, but I have a puppy in my arms.
Yep, she looks like she's about to fall asleep, too. They can't see it on camera, though. Oh, there you go. But, yeah, it was some really interesting dialogue going back and forth between the two, talking about Sabine and her making the choice to give up the fucking map. And, Hu Yang made a point like, well, maybe in her eyes, she had no other choice.
Right.
Because Ahsoka still sees it as like a failure on Sabine's part, like just complete, like she's still of the mindset like, map should have been destroyed no matter what,
right?
No question. So
and she's like, I I didn't prepare her for that choice. Like it may have been her only choice, but I didn't prepare her to make that choice.
So which again, I feel like Ahsoka is the one who's flawed in the way she's thinking, because she's so single-minded in this whole scenario.
Yeah. So one thing that I get with Ahsoka, honestly, is she's not meant to be wise, right? She's meant to be a warrior.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I'm curious, like with the species and
having Anakin as her master too.
That doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't help her cause. Like she's not here to be like, she's not a thinker per se. Like they're trying to portray her in this as like the old wizened, and they did in Rebels also. Like she's the older wizened, like she's seen some shit, so now this is how she is.
Yeah.
But in reality, like she's a warrior, and now she's trying to tame that instinct to just be a warrior.
Well, yeah, because you go back to the previous episode when she was having those Clone Wars flashbacks, and she's like, well, what if I don't want to be a warrior? What if I don't want to fight?
Right. And you'll die.
Yeah, and maybe that's what's really going on. It's this overall struggle, an internal struggle of hers to, either embrace this warrior side of her or
pay or you will die.
Yeah,
like that's really what it comes down to.
And we can touch on that here in a couple of minutes too. But then she's like, "All right, well, go ahead and tell me one of your stories." And Hu Yang starts it off with, "A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away."
Yeah,
and then
that is just such a in Filoni we trust, right? Like Dave, get to work on History of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Parts 1, 2, and 3.
Right. We want those right here.
The
for
sacred Jedi text.
Also.
My penis so smooth.
Yeah.
I really should sub in so it says Jason's.
My penis so smooth.
Hang on, wait, ready? Jason's. Jason's.
Penis so smooth.
Jason's penis so small. So smooth.
I want nothing to do with this. Anyway, so that takes us right into the credits, and I always love the way they do these opening credits, or the opening like title scene, where it's just like a quick clip of music and then like Ahsoka and all that. But the music that they put behind it, and the music in like these 2 episodes, like especially this episode though, episode 6 was fucking great.
So when I watched this for the second time, I took more note of what the music was doing for the show itself. I really was paying more attention to it because, quite frankly, I had it on in the car. Right, so it was like I was getting a much better stereo experience.
Sure, yeah,
because I had more speakers and it was in a confined space, so it was like really impressed with how the music really imparted itself in the show. It imparted itself, but it didn't present itself, if that makes sense. It's like I know the music's there and I know it's impacting it, but unless I'm really listening for it just for the music, it's like we'll use his name. It's what John Williams does to Star Wars. This is how I am helping this show. I'm helping this particular moment. Yeah, not overriding it with music. You know what I mean?
Which, and I know you had a complaint about that with Rogue One. Yes. With the music from that.
And because it felt very like, okay, here's music overlaying this movie as opposed to the music being underneath it and bringing it up.
Yeah, bringing it up. That's a great analogy. So after the title sequence, we flip to Sabine, who's in jail on the hyperspace ring.
I was hoping for something with more of a view.
Yeah. Smart ass to the end. And
charming to the last.
Yeah. All of these shots of them going through intergalactic hyperspace are really, really nicely done. Like the shot of the whales going through, but it's like kind of like a stringy rainbow as opposed to the traditional, like blue and white tunnel that we would get in normal intergalactic or normal within the galaxy hyperspace travel.
Hyperspace, yeah.
Yeah, it's different when they're doing the intergalactic stuff, and it looks really sweet, especially when they either are going into or coming out of it. Like when the ring comes out of the hyperspace, it looks fucking awesome. Like you see it and you see that kind of that wake trail behind it.
I enjoyed it, but it definitely gave me a Star Trek vibe.
Yeah.
Which, look, not that I hate Star Trek. It's just like when I saw it the second time, I'm like,
oh yeah, especially
that's what it reminds me of. It has that, like, Enterprise going in or coming out of.
Especially the JJ Star Trek movies, because he really leaned into the whole the trails.
And look, I'm not disparaging necessarily.
I'm
not here to disparage Star Trek. But we're not talking about Star Trek. We're talking about Star Wars. So it's its own thing.
Yep. Well, so anyway, they get to Peridian, which is, according to Morgan Elsbeth.
Druidia?
No, Peridia.
Oh.
It's the ancient homeworld of the Dathomiri. So this is like where the Dathomiri started, apparently, before they made it to our galaxy or anything else.
Allegedly, yeah,
according to her. And I'm like, there's so many stories that could come from this too. Just the origins of the Dathomiri witches and their fucking empire and what they did in that galaxy and how they fucking eventually made it to ours. Like so many stories that they can tell with this fucking information. And they talked about the Purgle and how this was sort of the end of their migration pattern. Because when they dropped out of hyperspace, there's the planet and you could see the ring around it, kind of like Saturn, right? Don't really think much about it until they mentioned, the Purgle come here to die.
Right.
And then you see that it's a fucking graveyard.
Yeah, you see like ring. The ribs and shit like that. Like you see all the skeletal remains. And it's just like, oh. So it's got that elephant graveyard type feel to it.
Yeah, it took a very dark turn.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a pretty cool shot when they start zooming in and you see all the bones and shit. And she mentions also, like, my people were among the first to harness and ride the creatures in the days before time was counted.
Right.
And I'm like, oh man, so we're talking like the beginning of.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
So this is one of, like, and I don't know, this is just my cynicism, I guess, coming out, but like with the Dathomiri legend, because there's something to the fact that this is the Jedi have told these stories. Like they knew this existed and they've told these stories. So I think that for Morgan, this is also like the lore and the stories that she's been told.
Oh, so it's no confirmation.
Right.
This is exactly what.
Yeah, just because it's validated that hey, these fucking the den mothers are there, and what are they? They're not
the night mothers.
The mother hens are there, and they have their floaty balls of justice. Would they be powerful without their floaty balls?
I don't know.
They seem like they need the floaty balls.
Or do you think that's just like a visualization of their power?
Do they have to have the three of them to do anything? Like, is it
that's what it seems like.
Do they come in threes?
Well, yeah, because they're like a trifecta. Because when the balls went down looking for Ahsoka, they had to go into like a perfect triangle.
Everything was like everything's in these threes.
Yeah. So
it'd be pretty easy to defeat them, right? You just
kill one of them and then
one of them, drop a rock on one of them, and then like the other two go, oh
no. Maybe. Well, we might find out next episode. Who knows?
Maybe I'm speaking it into existence.
So no, but that's a good point though, because Baylan mentions later on in the episode like this mysterious power that he's looking for, and Shin asks him she's like, and this is where this is, and he's like, well, if the stories are true, so even he isn't 100% sure.
Well, let's get to some Baylan stuff later, because when he loses his ride and then fucking is doing something, whatever it is that he's doing, and we don't know, and we won't know until next episode. I have more to say about that.
Okay.
We're too early into this episode to get there.
Yeah. So yeah, they throughout this whole thing too, when they drop out of hyperspace, they're going into the planet. Fucking Shin is kind of in charge of Sabine, and there's no dialogue spoken between the two, but there's a lot of glares back and forth.
Well, that's what Shin does. She glares. She has glaring, and then glaring. That's also that's like her emote.
Yeah,
is glare.
Non-blinking glaring.
Well, she has glaring or like glaring with disbelief.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like glaring with hate or glaring with disbelief.
Yeah,
but either way, it's glaring.
Yeah. And this is the point where I wrote the music in this episode is phenomenal. And then they land, they meet with the trifecta of sisters.
Right.
And they're just fucking
With their floaty balls.
Yeah, but their faces and their eyes are fucking wild looking.
Yeah. It does, I'll tell you what, the portrayal of what the Night Sisters are, and when we're talking about the cargo, which is obvious what the cargo is, right?
Is it obvious?
What do you think the cargo is?
Well, I think it's probably a bunch of like Dathomiri soldiers, like Zabraks.
I think it's more witches.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I think it's more Night Sisters.
Okay. Because we've seen them pushing the cargo, and it's like about the size of a person.
It looks like a coffin.
Yeah.
Right. So, and you hear they speak of the catacombs.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What are catacombs traditionally?
I don't know.
They're usually for burial. Right.
Oh, okay.
So at least that's what I thought. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah. My theory is like, suspended Dathomiri soldiers, or maybe even a mix between like a bunch of Zabraks and a bunch of Night Sisters.
Yeah. No, it's the cargo itself. We're skipping ahead. So, we're skipping through the big reveal of the fucking, why can't I think of the name of the ship? Oh my God, Dave.
The Chimera.
The Chimera. Thank you. We have the Chimera showing up in all its fucking glory with the music and everything else, and you see the bottom with the fucking thing, and it's like, oh my God, this is fucking great, right? And it just the parking, you get the parking job right on top of the fucking
that's little weird symbolism there. You got the big dick in the sky, and then the fucking thing.
But this is. I am going to like these two episodes, like this one not as much, but the next one when we like really the first introduction to Thrawn, I had to see it a second time to really be like start buying into this as Thrawn, because when I first saw it, I'm like, okay, you're giving me Thrawn, but is this the Thrawn that I know? Right. And then when I saw the next episode, I'm like, fuck, all right, this is fucking Thrawn.
Yeah, because that's when you see him like doing all the mental shit.
Right. He's like, he's the plan. He has the plan, and he's moving the pieces around, and he's thinking in a dialogue and everything else. With this one, what gave it to me was the precision.
Yeah.
Right. He has this platform that was obviously not meant to park a Star Destroyer on.
Right.
And he's parking his hangar bay, so that you could walk basically off of the one thing to the other. Like he has this expectation of that level of precision with flying this large of a ship. And I was like, okay, that's a very Thrawn thing to expect.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Because as we get through this scene, when you have the soldiers that are obviously in this like piecemeal, all the stormtroopers are like fucking, their shit's tied together.
Right. Because after years of whatever the fuck they were doing out there, they had to repair their armor as best they could.
Go ahead.
Which, by the way, a lot of those red ribbons are like Night Sister robe pieces. It seems like,
it's
the red
same
claw,
color, right?
Yeah.
I noticed the same thing, and they're like chanting Thrawn.
Yeah.
And again, it really the second time it kind of hit me. It's like why would they be so like what would these stormtroopers would not have been like this when they first deployed.
No, hell no.
But Thrawn would know that in order to keep everyone in line and not lose the crew, or like he's going to have to develop a level of fanaticism to him as like this demagogue in order to fucking them to be able to survive, to get to the point where he gets the hell out of there.
Right. Yeah.
And so, and that this is an assumption on my part, but I feel like that's why you have this like fanatical group of soldiers in there, because yes, they've been in exile for so long.
Yeah.
And Thrawn's like, I've got the fucking plan. We just got to get there.
Yeah.
Right. I got, and he's obviously eating well because he's got a little bit more of a belly than I thought he was going to have.
Yeah.
My only complaint about the physical presentation of Thrawn is that I think Thrawn would keep himself in better shape.
Yeah, because I mean, the books especially, they go into like how physically fit he is, because he can kick the shit out of anybody.
Yeah, he's a ninja.
Yeah,
basically, and the idea that he would have let a little put on some weight.
Yeah.
All right, sure.
You know what? It could be some genetic thing with the chest where it's like doesn't matter what you do, it's gonna happen. So. As you age,
maybe.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. It is the one off-putting thing, and I think I saw something online that talked about like, well, he's in his 70s at this point, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
As he's gotten older, maybe he can't work out like you would before.
True.
Or it doesn't. It could be a dietary thing, like you're saying, because honestly, starving people develop bellies.
Yeah.
It could be malnourishment.
Yeah, because that planet that they're on does not look very fertile.
But they have these fucking animals. They have animals that they could.
That's probably what they eat. They probably eat a lot of that wolf meat.
The giant rats that they just like breed and eat that meat and whatever. That's
Do they look more like rats, or I thought they looked more like wolves? But
they're like wolf rats to me.
Yeah.
Whatever. I got a rat thing from them. I think it was the fur.
No, yeah. All right. Real quick too, before we get too much more into the Thrawn intro, we had some great dialogue, and once again, fucking Balin stealing the show in these fucking episodes with like the dialogue he has with Shin and even his interactions with Thrawn. They're on that platform waiting for fucking Thrawn to show up, and Shin's like, oh, what's going on, Master? And he's just like, this is and he said exactly, this is a land of dreams and madness, which is the title of the next episode.
Right.
And they just have this great back and forth where he's, they're talking about like the old stories of the Jedi Temple and how he's raising her to be something different and alluding to his end goal, whatever this ultimate plan is that he has, but never quite given us enough detail. It's just, I don't know, man.
It's such a shame.
Yeah.
It's such a shame it's a shame that he passed just in general, obviously. But it's also a shame that this seems like it's a character that was developed very specifically and probably has an arc that we're not going to see fully flushed out.
Yeah, unless they like try to recast him or something. But I don't know how any other actor can do this.
I don't know if you could do it. Unless you deep fake it or something like that, which I don't think even still you could do. Like there's so much of what that actor is doing and bringing to that character. Like when he's in the next episode, when he's standing there with his second showdown with Ahsoka. I mean, like the posturing and everything else. It's like, it's a terrible shame. Yeah. It really is.
And I guess after tomorrow's episode, maybe we'll have a better idea for what the fuck is going on with him and what they're going to do with him next. But we'll see. But no point in,
we can talk about what we think is going to happen later.
Yeah. So at one point, the trio of sisters said that Sabine reeked of Jedi, and they fucking put her in the lasso of truth with their fucking.
So I wanted to bring that up as a talking point, mainly because can we stop with the is Sabine really a Jedi discussion? Like, is this enough for people to stop like saying, okay, maybe she's not the strongest Jedi in the world, but if they're sniffing her out like that, like she's gone. It's not like, oh, hey, this Force user, there's a Force user here, because there is a couple there.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
well,
they don't know Balin from fucking scratch.
Right.
And neither are the apprentice. They're said very specifically like, hey, we smell Jedi.
Yeah.
And I want to think that that's deliberate, that this is deliberate language that they're using for people to go, for Dave Filoni to say like, listen, this is my intent. She's not the best Jedi.
Right.
And we prove it again later, like even when Thrawn's ship shows up, when she...
Well, yeah, because the next scene, she's like trying to use the Force to open that door.
Right. And then everything starts shaking, and
yeah.
I bit on that part. I'm like, oh my God, she's actually doing something. And then no, it's the fucking out the window, the fucking ship comes.
Yeah.
I love that. I fucking love that. I love that she's trying so hard to do something and can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this like external thing that like it makes you think that something's happening.
Sure.
Yeah. I love the little teasers for that. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, and we'll touch more on that when we get to next episode, because something happens in that episode too. But yeah, so we already talked about the Chimera entering. I loved how it had like these gold patches on it, where the fucking space whales like shoved their fucking tentacles through and grabbed it. So they repaired it, but they did it with this like gold like material, which you also see on some of the stormtroopers.
Yep.
Like as in patches of their uniforms, or when we see the reveal of Enoch.
Right.
The guy who's got the fucking
face mask.
Yeah, the face was completely changed in the stormtrooper
like
helmet.
That has the gladiator, style helmet.
Yeah, and it's that same kind of gold, like electrum looking metal. So probably somewhere on this planet there's some sort of massive deposit of this specific kind of metal, because you see it in a lot of different places, be it the patched up Chimera, the stormtrooper armor, or whatever.
Right.
And again, I'm sure there's a whole backstory to that we'll find out one day. And then, yeah, the Thrawn coming up, walking up with the guys chanting Thrawn, but also that fucking music that's playing, that like creepy organ, like the dun, dun, and I'm like, fuck. Like they nailed his
hey, we've been looking for Thrawn this is all of us, like not that just the characters in the show, but all of us that have followed Thrawn for so long. This is it. This is the fucking reveal.
Yeah.
So they fucking gave us a lead in.
Yeah.
And it was I think it was good.
Yeah, one thing I did notice that they did, I had the closed captioning on the last time I watched this episode, and it refers to these troopers as night troopers. For whatever that's worth, but because it's saying like night troopers : and then chanting Thrawn, but just interesting. Now I know. See, this is the weird thing about doing these two shows back to back, is because after this 6th episode, there were so many people online that were talking about these troopers, and they had all these theories. Like a lot of people thought that these were like fucking resurrected Night Sister troopers, kind of like Marok was. But thankfully that got debunked in the next episode, because they get killed like regular stormtroopers.
Yeah.
In the next episode, no fucking like green smoke coming out of their wounds or anything. So thankfully we didn't have to deal with all of that speculation shit for the last episode. Great interaction between Thrawn and Baylan, because it's mentioned again after Thrawn walks up and is like thanking Morgan and everything. The sisters are like, they brought a prisoner, and he's like, oh, you didn't tell me this. They're like, it's a loose thread. And then fucking Baylan pipes in, and he's like, yeah, I thought she'd be some good use to us. And then Thrawn's like, and you are
right,
because apparently Morgan didn't tell Thrawn about the fucking
she had no way of communicating with him,
right, except for the like dreams or whatever the fuck
the fucking the Pointer Sisters were fucking telling her over fucking dreams.
Yeah. So yeah, but like I feel like
the Pointer Sisters, were there 3 Pointer Sisters?
I think there were.
Oh my God, that was a deep.
He pulled that one.
I reached deep for that one.
But you know what? It worked. I like it. So we may have to refer to them as the Pointer Sisters from here on out. But yeah, so really cool dialogue back and forth between fucking Baylan and Thrawn, and I feel like Baylan's playing some like 3D chess here, while Thrawn's at a checkerboard, because he's got so much shit going on in the background, and just you can see it. You can see it in their interactions. And then they bring in Sabine. And they tell her, yeah, we'll give you a fucking wolf mount, give you your shit back. Go find your boy. We'll tell you where he was. And even she's like, really? You're just gonna let me walk out? Like, but the way Thrawn makes it sound, he's like, oh yeah, you helped me in my cause, so obviously I'm gonna let you go. Which that's got to dig a little bit. He's like, so.
And she is just hardened herself to the fact that like, all right, yeah, you made your point. I fucking suck. But it'll all be worth it if I fucking find Ezra.
Yeah. Which, by the way, she has no follow-on plan to that. Like,
no, none whatsoever.
Yeah, plan A is find Ezra, and then there is no plan B or part 2 or anything like that.
Do you have anything else? Nope.
Yeah.
Some plan. What'd she say? Some rescue.
Yeah.
Did you have a plan to get us out of here?
He's the brain, sweetheart. Yeah, this is where they also are talking about the fucking cargo. And again, I told you what I think the cargo is. You think it's just all Night Sisters?
I do.
Okay.
I really do. I think this is a cache of Night Sisters that they're trying to get back into the other galaxy.
Okay, maybe repopulate Dathomir or something.
Or bring them back into a world where they can thrive.
Yeah.
Like, because maybe the grand scheme of things, maybe the Emperor needs that magic.
Yeah. Or maybe they've got their own agenda, their own non-Emperor agenda. Because, Palpatine, I don't think was on very good terms with them, if I'm not mistaken. I can't.
Who knows? I mean, Palpatine. Again, you're talking about the manipulators. The Palpatine was a master manipulator.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he was playing fucking chess while Thrawn was playing checkers.
Mm-hmm.
Although Thrawn was playing chess also, he just was. He just wasn't at the same level.
Right.
He just didn't. He didn't. He was only 3 moves ahead, and while Palpatine was 5.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what it came down to.
Yep. And after Sabine leaves, Thrawn basically tells Baylan and Shin, if she finds Ezra, just kill them both. Because even Shin was like, well, fuck, you said you'd let her find her friend. And
yeah, I'm going to let it.
Yeah. And once she finds him, you guys kill them. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh.
So even Shin has a little bit, she has no love for fucking Sabine at all. You can tell that just in the way that she interacts with her. But she even, kind of...
I think Shin, it's really interesting. Like, so Shin is like along for this ride and she's obeying her master.
Mm-hmm.
But what she believes is the plan, we come to find out, like, is obviously not the same plan. Like, Baylan's plan is not what she thinks the plan is.
Right.
And she's just kind of like, fuck, well, I don't have a choice. This is the ride I'm in for.
Yeah.
And has to go with it. And she can't piece together what's happening.
Right.
And so she's constantly reacting to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, you go do this thing. Like, all right, fuck, I don't have a choice. I have to react to this.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, like, will there be a time when after, spoiler alert, Ahsoka lets her go,
mm-hmm.
that she can start operating and thinking on her own, right? After Ahsoka says, we can help you, right? You wonder what that triggers,
mm-hmm.
because that seems to me like that's something that was deliberate. That if I'm trying to diffuse this ticking time bomb that is Shin,
mm-hmm.
So that she stops coming and trying to kill us. They're trying to kill me. Ken's coming to kill me. Fish called Wanda.
Oh, okay. I have seen it.
We're going deep, folks. We're going deep, deep. And yeah, I think that Shin is going to. I think Shin's going to play a role into all of this, obviously.
Yeah.
Separate from what Baylan's doing.
Yeah, because obviously he made it clear too. Well, again, that's in the next episode. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they in this episode they did have some other good dialogue where he refers to the Ezra as being a Boken Jedi, which Jedi that are trained in the wild. And he mentions he was trained in the Jedi Temple, but he's training Shin to be something more, and mentions like some greater power here on the planet and like how it called to him to make the journey.
Right.
So it's very obvious that he has no intention of being part of the new Thrawn order.
So after this episode aired, there was a lot on the internet about like something that was on the watch of Baylan. Did you see any of that?
Like the watch, like a wristwatch?
Yeah, it was like some communicator or something like that, where it had on his wrist, it had a list of names in Aurebesh. It had like
I didn't see that.
I wanted to bring the article up, but I didn't remember till just now.
Yeah.
But the internet basically it took a screenshot of this and then translated the Aurebesh, and it was like it said Han and Chewie, and like it had names of like these people with prominent roles, and there was a whole nother. I never followed that string to see where that went. Let me see if I can find it while we're talking about the rest of the stuff. I was curious to see if you had seen it because
no, I definitely hadn't.
I really think that I have a really interesting idea of what I think Balin is doing.
Okay. Well, while you're pulling that up, during all of this, Sabine runs into some of these nomads that are on the planet. She starts by fighting with her blasters, and that doesn't go so well, so she pulls out the lightsaber and then ends up fighting them off. And you see that again in the next episode. She starts by fighting with blasters, but when she switches to the lightsaber, she's far more successful. So that could just be more of the, them trying to hint at...
I really think there's something to the fact that Mandalorians have an issue using the Force genetically.
Oh, that could be.
I truly believe that. I think it's a genetic thing with Mandalorians in the Force. Yeah. I just do.
And then after she fights off the nomads, she comes across the Shell people, which are the Nati, I believe, Ezra refers to them in the next episode.
No, we're calling them the Smurfs.
The Smurfs.
I texted Jason after I saw this, and I said, "Smurfs?" ? And he's like, "Are you referring to the
Shell people?"
The Shell
is what
people?
I called them. Yeah.
Like, yes, that's all I thought of. He came up on this village, and were little like bluish beings, and speaking gibberish. I'm like, these are fucking Smurfs.
Yeah.
I just like it was Smurftastic.
I mean, for me, it was Ewoks is what it immediately came to my mind, and that continued into the next episode.
Yeah, but Ewoks didn't fucking get into their mushrooms and drive around.
Right.
Like, it just
their vehicles are shells in addition to them being shell people.
Like it was.
Yeah. So. And she's talking to this one, and he notices the rebel symbol on her shoulder that they came up with during Rebels, which ended up being the symbol for the Rebel Alliance. And the thing goes crazy. It's like, oh, and it's talking its language and pulls out its fucking necklace that's also got the thing. Right. So, bit of a stretch here, how she gets back to Ezra, but whatever. And, that's when she's like, oh my God, Ezra Bridger? And they take her back to her village, or to their village, and you get this cool wide shot, and you're seeing like her looking around the village, and the camera pans around, and then behind her you see Ezra just kind of like leaning against one of the structures, and that's when you have the big reunion between Ezra and Sabine. And of course it starts off with like a little banter between the two. He's like, it took you long enough.
Right.
And then she's like, well, you never told us where you were going. But after a little just like fun back and forth, they have a big hug and big reunion, and he's immediately like asking her questions like, oh, how'd you get here? How did you find me? And she's like, nah.
Let me enjoy this. Let me just enjoy this before I tell you how bad I fucked up.
Yeah.
Killed Ahsoka, fucking probably destroyed the galaxy.
Yeah.
Let me just enjoy this moment before I tell everybody how bad I sucked.
Yeah, it's like, you know how you just you made that sacrifice to get rid of Thrawn and all that years ago. I'm just about to undo all of that. Yeah. So, all right, what you got?
You know what? Let me share screen real quick.
All right, so Dave found the article apparently.
Yeah, and I'm curious if anybody in the chat has seen this thing as well. Did I duplicate it? What happened here?
I don't know.
Oh, this is on the artist formerly known as Twitter. Hang on.
Mm-hmm. X.
I'm an idiot. Hang on. Wait for it. Littering end.
Riveting.
Littering end. You know what that's from?
I don't think so.
Don't know what that's from? Have you watched Super Troopers?
Yeah, we talked about it on the show.
Right. Littering end. Littering end.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Are you fucking...
I'm trying, God damn it.
Are you trying? Because...
Shut up.
Dear God.
All right. So.
Can you make it bigger?
My penis is so smooth.
I don't know. Maybe? Hang on. I will do Control Plus. How's that?
All right. Very good.
All right. So this was on his on his wrist, like on his communicator.
Yeah.
So what they're saying is like this Auerbesh that was here
says those names. So we've got
those names.
Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, R2D2, C-3PO, and Ben. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. I wonder why those specific names. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's the OG trilogy people, but you're missing some people. You're missing your Landos and
right. It's an Easter egg, right? So
sure.
People, I think the going thing is that it's just an Easter egg, and there's no
relevance to the actual names.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's probably true, but it's an interesting theory because reasons, and we'll talk about it more when we get to more of the Balin stuff. So next episode.
All right. Well, at the end of this episode, really quick, the Great Mothers tell Thrawn that they sense Ahsoka coming.
The Pointer Sisters.
The Pointer Sisters tell Thrawn that Ahsoka is coming, which I guess Elspeth told Thrawn that Ahsoka was dead. So he's made a couple of comments since about, is this the recently deceased Ahsoka Tano?
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, ooh.
Yeah. Burn.
Yep. So, all right. Go into the next episode. Part 7, Dreams and Madness. Starts off on what I'm assuming is Coruscant, though I've seen some people online saying, this might be Chandrila or something, but it's I think we're led to believe it's Coruscant because, they specifically told Hera to go back to Coruscant to talk about what happened.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, so Hera's there. She's not on trial per se, but it's sort of a Senate committee.
It's like the Armed Services Committee. You got It's like if no, Dave, no, don't use real world examples. Yes,
neighbors,
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. If like say something happens in the military and they're like, okay, you have to appear before an Armed Services Committee to report about the Iran-Contra affair or whatever. This is basically what they're doing. Yep.
And, they're kind of, it's the same people that she talked to through the holo a couple episodes ago, but now it's like in person. So you got Mon Mothma as the chair and the one guy that I was talking about, Senator Ziono.
Slimy McShitfacerson.
Yeah, the stereotypical guy who hates every single thing about this person.
Right.
Military
sucks.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have jobs, and you make too much money. You shouldn't get any benefits, and you get what you signed up for. Wait, am I projecting?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Okay.
Something cool that did happen during this is that they mentioned. They're talking about the Imperial Remnant, and they're talking about they talked about Mandalore. They're like, well, what about Moff Gideon and fucking Mandalore?
Right. They immediately latched into the other timeline in Mandalorian.
And now we know when this takes place. Technically, this is now taking place after Mando season 3.
Yeah, because we got fucking Fat Bottom Asian was there in the tribunal to fucking basically connect the two things because he was there.
What about the Empire attack on the Mandos?
Right, exactly.
And then, your favorite droid. We were talking about your favorite droid with Hu Yang, but I think your real favorite droid rolls into the room at this point as C-3PO makes an appearance.
Because he apparently fucking, what's his nuts? Daniels.
Anthony Daniels.
Yeah, that guy. He apparently has something written with the devil that says that he has to be in every single Star Wars thing that ever comes out ever.
Mm-hmm.
So
was he in Mandalorian?
Probably.
Trying to remember.
Sure, he snuck his way on there somehow.
Probably.
Maybe he was just a different droid. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this motherfucker, Goldenrod, shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I heard the voice, I'm like, oh my God, really? Are we really doing this?
Yeah.
This motherfucker.
Yeah, and he shows up with apparently a letter from Leia saying, it's all good. I told Hera to go do this.
great special ops shit. Like, oh yeah, no, we had a valid order right here.
Yeah.
Like, no, this is bullshit. Like, prove it, bitch.
Yep, and of course they Mon Mothma motions to
because this committee of whatever Mon Mothma, like this hearing that they're having is not Leia's the chair of the defense committee.
Yeah.
Right. So if it came from her as the chair of the defense committee, then this fucking pencil dick doesn't have a fucking nickel in it.
Right. Yep.
And he can't go against Leia.
Yep. And
previous chancellor.
Yeah, and he's sitting there, he's all fucking seething and everything. It's like, all right, dude, whatever.
I don't want to see a fucking I want to see him like step out of a fucking transport and like get hit by some fucking, I don't know, some wayward vehicle. He just it's just I don't know why I'm so triggered by this guy, but he just makes me want to fucking go not do good things.
All right, fair enough.
Not good.
And there was a funny little bit too where he's like, "How can we trust something from just a droid?" And then apparently Chopper like gets all pissed off too.
Chopper goes, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, pretty much. I'm sure that's exactly what the translation was too. Then we flash to Ahsoka, who's still on the ship, traveling with the space whales.
Yeah, she's still with the whales. They're just coming out of hyperspace.
Yeah, so they haven't come out of hyperspace yet, and she's training. She's doing some like training moves and stuff with a holo of Anakin there. So we get to see Hayden Christensen again, reprising his role as Anakin, and he's in the Clone Wars gear. Right. And he's basically going off on or telling Ahsoka, you could fight anyone on the battlefield. You could come across Grievous or fucking Count Dooku or anybody, and you need to be prepared for everything. And it's, him again instilling this, you have to be prepared for when I'm not here. Or if I can't be there for you, you have to be able to survive.
So this holo, when I rewatched, it made me have this thought.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that these recordings were made available to Luke?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, because he knows it's his father.
Yeah, no,
right?
there's so many untouched threads between Ahsoka and Luke that need to be addressed.
Yeah, and because we know that Luke and her have interacted, right?
Yes,
we have it in Mandalorian.
Yep.
So we know that's part of the canon.
Mm-hmm.
She has this, it's her T6, right? And she has this box of the hollows that she puts the stuff into. Now, I'm a nerd and I like boxes, and bags and shit. So this box, that's what she said.
My penis so smooth.
It has this wooden box that she's storing the hollows, this 20 or so hollows in.
Yeah, and
it really made me think, like, I wonder if Luke has seen these. I wonder if he's had the opportunity to be like, hey, by the way, everyone knows, like, Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, that's not a coincidence.
Right.
Right? We all know.
Mm-hmm.
So Ahsoka knows.
Yeah, because she said to Luke, so much like your father.
Yes. So does she, like, give Luke the opportunity to say, this is your father training me?
I mean, that would be great, but at this point, we don't know. It would have been cool of her to do that.
I just wonder if she did.
Yeah.
That was what it made me think of it. It just seemed like it was a cool, it would be a cool thing to address. Like, is that something that Luke would even want, like, to see his father in that light?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's an untapped resource, really.
Mm-hmm. And and we don't even know how long those two were together for. It could have been a day. She could have been on that planet with him for months.
Yeah,
getting prepared, like helping him build the temple and all that.
Yeah, you could. I mean, shit. They have the fucking, they have the HoloNet. She could have emailed it to him.
True.
Honestly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because there's so many like stories she could have told him. I'm sure he wanted to know a lot after finding out who she was and that she was trained by Anakin. But no, that's an interesting point, and I don't know. Maybe we'll find out someday.
Just something I thought about and wanted to puke out for everyone else to think about.
Yeah, for sure. After it's all done, the holo goes out. Ahsoka turns off her lightsabers, she kind of just like closes her eyes, and it's like she's got to tell herself, she's like, he was a good master, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of what we've seen this season is her dealing with him and his turn. We got it in the flashback scenes where she, you know, goes off on him and like nobody realized how dangerous you were and everything like that. And I still feel like she's dealing with some fear that she could end up just like him.
Right.
Like, I think that's kind of always on the forefront of her mind. And maybe another one of the reasons why she's trying to pull back and not be much of a fighter and be more of a peaceful person is because she feels like she's afraid that she might have those tendencies and she could fall the same way that he did. And it was just so interesting just seeing her kind of close her eyes and like, he was a good master.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you really have to sit there and tell yourself that. Then they go out of hyperspace while they're inside the whales, and because the mouth is closed, they can't see what's going on, but you can, like, they start feeling like boom, 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 and they're like, uh-oh, something's fucking going on.
Yeah.
And they get out of the mouth in time to see a massive fucking minefield that they set for the fucking whales. As soon as they dropped out of hyperspace.
Yeah, which is like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was Thrawn.
So the real question is, like, so you had all these whales. Did all these whales go there to die, or did they also,
I think,
spawn in that galaxy? Like, why did they go back and forth between that galaxy? Like, did they just die in that planet?
I don't know. I mean, the way they make it sound is maybe they're born somewhere in this galaxy. They make their way out. They do stuff in our galaxy and then come back towards the end of their life to fucking die in that spot.
Yeah, I attach like so much whale bullshit, I guess, to it, because I feel like they used whales deliberately because of their migration patterns and their ability to navigate and stuff like that. So yeah. I'm putting that. There's a word that I can't think of.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. Anyway, it's gone. But there's a term for that. But I'm using that thing to apply to the whales.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, yeah, they're migration patterns, so they probably spawn in a certain place, you know, and then die in a certain place.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. So
yeah, they're young in another place.
Yeah, and it could be across multiple galaxies. They could be going to a third galaxy that we're not aware of. Who the hell knows? But yeah, as they're in the fucking minefield, the whales peace out. They're just like, they fucking, they all jump into hyperspace and get the fuck out of Dodge, leaving Ahsoka to navigate the debris field. And yeah, she goes into the fucking rings and hides inside the whale graveyard debris. Then we move back to Sabine and Ezra. The scene opens so funny because if you watch it, you see Ezra's like in the vehicle, the shell vehicle, and he's kind of leaning back, right? And then you see Sabine come up from underneath. I'm like, oh, wonder what she was doing down there.
I didn't even think of that, but that's actually pretty funny.
Oh yeah, go back and rewatch that scene because like it's Ezra fucking piloting, and then Sabine just comes right up. Like, oh, okay, cool. Sorry, go ahead.
So what's happening in the chat right now for that Jason's just seeing?
Yeah,
is there a conversation started about Luke laying pipe in the universe?
Mm-hmm.
My contention is that he died a virgin, and that's why he's so angry on Luke Island.
Oh, right. Could be.
You'd be pissed off too if you never got laid.
True.
You know, to the end of your life, and you're just like, fuck it. I'm just.
Yeah. Now
Leia managed to get laid, and I didn't. So fuck it. Kill her kid. So, anyway.
You will suck on my penis. You just got to use the Force in the right ways.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You don't want any death sticks. Anyway.
Yeah, what were we talking about? The whales.
Whales.
Yeah, and then Ahsoka hides in the debris field.
Yes.
All right, so then we get the point where Thrawn is given all of Ahsoka's information. Elspeth gives him a little data pad.
Yeah. Here's what we got from the Inquisitors.
Yeah. Which, that was kind of a neat little touch.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going,
there's so many things, right? Swede pointed out to me, like, from Jedi Survivor, like, all the Zephu fucking carvings and all this stuff.
I did see that. Yeah, I saw that in
God.
an article. Yeah, that was really well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he's analyzing. He's like, "Oh, she was trained by Anakin Skywalker," which we all know.
Right.
He knows who Anakin is because of the Thrawn trilogy.
Right.
So that was that was in his original trilogy. The second book, I think, was the one where he
meets him twice.
Right. Once as Anakin, once as Vader.
Right.
But I think that happened in the same book. I think that
it wasn't the same book. It was the same trilogy, though.
Oh, okay. Either way, yeah. So he's met both Anakin and Vader and knows he figured it out, and so now he's got a whole new insight into a whole new insight into Ahsoka and kind of where she's coming from, and he uses that to kind of flesh her out, and all the while Sabine is still being very evasive of Ezra's questions about how the fuck she got there, where the fuck Ahsoka is. It's her answer to everything is just, it's complicated. So she's like, you got to wonder how long she can fucking dodge questions. But Ezra is so focused on getting back. Like, the last episode he talked about it. This episode he talks about it so many times. Like, oh, I can't wait to get back. Can't wait to get back. And she's
wouldn't you be that? Like,
sure.
It's like, hey, so here's where you would tell me what your plan is to get us back.
Right.
Like, we shouldn't be like cruising in my fucking shell vehicle here, getting fucking handies.
Yeah.
Let's actually talk about getting me home.
Right. And she's just, again, being completely evasive to all of that. We get another good moment. So this is the other moment where I guess we have semi confirmation that Sabine has some force sensitivity to her, because Ahsoka then like force looks her up. I guess she tries to force dial her.
Right.
Very similar to the way Luke and Leia did in Empire Strikes Back, to the point where it was so similar to the Luke and Leia one. I'm like, that was a good touch.
Yeah.
Where, Ahsoka's like calling out to her, and Sabine's just like sitting next to Ezra, just kind of riding along, and then she just kind of gets a look in her face like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And
that was weird.
Yeah, and then she's
dead person's trying to fucking call me.
Yeah, and then she's like, Sabine, and then she's like, oh shit, Ahsoka. And it was, I thought that was great, and it was Ahsoka's way of figuring out where Sabine was. But I like that scene, even though it was like a direct homage to Luke and Leia and Empire. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But as soon as they made that connection, the fucking Night Mother's like you had a close up on the fucking Night Mother's face, and her eye opens, and it's like, she's right there, because Thrawn told the sisters to try to find Ahsoka. And then,
my God.
What?
Oh my God.
What? Problem?
So,
Rule 34?
Yes.
For who? The Night Sisters?
No. For the fucking fish nuns.
Fish nuns? What the fuck?
Oh, God.
Is this on our Discord?
Yes, it's on the Discord because reasons. Oh my God. That was.
All right, I'll have to take a look at it later.
Oh my God, this is a fucking strange world we live in.
Now,
it really is.
I will say, when we first started doing this show, the Shin Hati Rule 34 page had like 5 pictures on it. It's got, good like 30, 40 now.
Oh, you get more material.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, just I may have said in there 69ing the fish nurse nuns, Rule 34, that shit. And the internet provides.
And it's already there. Good stuff. All right.
Now that's in my brain. That'll occupy a space that on my hard drive forever.
Yep.
There's no defrag in the world that's going to get rid of that.
Yeah. So we get to the scene where Baylan and Shin are on the hilltop waiting for Ezra and Sabine.
Right.
And this is the point where Balin basically tells Shin, like, all right, you're on your own.
Yep.
Because he tells her, your ambitions drives you... your ambitions drives you in one direction. My path lies on another, is what he told her.
Right.
So he's like, go take your part in this new empire, do your thing. And then he left her with one other parting word. Impatience for victory will guarantee defeat. And that was it. That was Balin allegedly parting ways with Shin.
Yeah, allegedly.
Mm-hmm. And,
which... So initially you go like, holy fuck, I can't believe like he's just going to go bugger off and do whatever.
Yeah.
But then he's standing there waiting for Ahsoka to show up.
Yeah.
Because like he's kind of running picket for Ahsoka.
Well, but he doesn't know that she's coming though, because he even says that.
I bet you he does.
I don't think he
says to her, I'm surprised to see you, but I'm willing to bet that he knows someone's coming. Even if he doesn't know he knows it's Ahsoka. He has to.
No, because here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he had this vision of the way things go, and Ahsoka is the loose thread in that vision.
Maybe.
And she pops in, and he's like, I was not expecting to see you here. And then he tells her, like, I can't let you interfere with this.
Right.
And when she escapes, he had kind of a concerned look on his face as he's watching her, like, gallop away on his wolf rat.
But not concerned enough to, like, tell anybody.
Yeah, or go after her. That's fair.
No, he just fucking... No. All right, I pattern delayed enough. I'm going to go continue on wherever this path is taking me.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think Balin's vision is about, he makes a comment in his little speech about after watching the Jedi Temple burn. And when he got older, he realized that it's all in a cycle.
Oh, yeah. Right? That was a great speech, too.
Yeah. And I think...
Yeah, talking about the rise of the Empire, rise of the Jedi,
right.
and how it keeps going back and
forth. So his goals are to end the cycle.
Right.
So how does that happen? And by ending the cycle, he already... the answer to that question, he already answered that part of the question, right? Mm-hmm. He's already basically... neutralize that part of it, because it's not about building the empire,
right?
So he's not going to do that,
right? So yeah, his plan is not to go with Thrawn, and
right,
yeah,
and we don't think that it's necessarily going to be to reorganize the Jedi, because the Jedi Order is something that he enjoyed the thought of, but not necessarily the execution.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? I think that what it means is like he wants the establishment of the fucking, this samurai Jedi, like this establishment of the Jedi as just people that are going to walk the earth, type thing.
Like Kane from the Kung Fu.
Right. I'm seriously, I think it's like a way to save their existence from exploitation.
Mm-hmm.
I think he sees all these Force users as being exploited by one side or another.
Oh,
and I think he's trying to stop that cycle. I think that's he thinks that's his goal.
Well, if that's his goal, then he's flawed in his thinking, because
they all are.
Yeah.
Because he can't control all the variables.
Exactly. And somebody in this new fucking nomad order is gonna, want more power or something. Yeah, and it's just like, it's gonna happen, and they're gonna break off, and they're gonna create a dark side, and it's gonna, again, the cycle will continue.
I think there's a reason that he was keeping, he wanted to keep Ahsoka alive. He wanted to keep Jedi alive. He didn't want, he could have very easily had defeated Ahsoka the first time.
Yeah.
Like really defeated her, not just assume that she was dead.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe he was surprised that she showed up, via Space Whale.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he knew that he didn't defeat her entirely.
Yeah, that I can understand.
She went into another plane of existence, so she might have disappeared in the Force. So she was unaccounted for. But
yeah.
I think that it wasn't his intent. He doesn't want to kill the Jedi. He wants to he wants to fucking create this like kung fu
yeah
from kung fu fucking shit.
Well, for sure, it seems like he wants to do something like that gives him or his new order so much massive power that it can be, it can fight off anything from any side, be it
like and not be controlled by it. Like, hey, fucking Grand Moff, whoever, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Like, because you're not going to use us as mercenaries because we don't need you.
Right.
So we're more powerful than you are. Go pound sand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't need you.
Yeah. And again, it seems like his whole goal was to get on to that fucking hyperspace ring and get to this galaxy. Like, he only became the mercenary just to get in good with Elspeth so he could take the fucking trip with her. He had no desire to kill Ahsoka or anything else.
He may have even found a fucking force user to make a Padawan and make into a Padawan, so that he could leave her to make this fight, so that he could go off and do something else.
Yeah,
to realize this. There could be so many elements to this, and it's the. Balin did defeat Ahsoka. Smirking Bear says Balin did defeat Ahsoka. He literally kicked her off the cliff. That doesn't kill you. Like,
there was water down there. She could have conceptually landed in deep water.
Sure, and apparently she did, but she survived in it. Like, I don't know.
I don't think we're really meant to look too deep into that. It's like she falls off the cliff. She ends up in the fucking world between worlds. Done.
Yeah. Regardless.
Yeah.
I think that this is where Balin is like, okay, now I'm on my own path.
Mm-hmm.
So here I go.
Yeah. I did what I needed to do. I made the trip. I'm
reach into the bag and get the wallet that says "bad motherfucker," and I'm going to keep walking.
Yep. So during this whole time, we've got a couple of fights going on. We've got as they are attacking Ezra and the Shell people. They stop, and Shin and the mercenaries show up and are fighting off Ezra and Sabine. Sabine offers Ezra his lightsaber, and he's like, "Nah, I don't need it. You keep it," because he wants to just fight with the Force. So a lot of punching and kicking, and a lot of fucking Force pushes. Which
So I mean, why did it seem weird to you?
Yeah,
that he wouldn't take the lightsaber back.
Yes. Like, because you could have finished those guys off so much quicker.
Yeah.
Because he
obviously was in tune with the Force because he was using it. Like, it's not like he couldn't wield the lightsaber. It's not like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
So are we led to believe that because he was with these Shell people pacifists, that maybe that's why he was just going to Force push people into unconsciousness, and that was going to be it?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess, but Sabine
until he Force grabs a fucking blaster and starts fucking getting
right. Because once the stormtrooper showed up, he realized, oh fuck, I kind of need a weapon after all, and that's when he took a fucking blaster from one of them. The the nomads, I could see like they're just a bunch of fucking yokels that live off the land and don't do much. So I can force push them into fucking buildings all day, and but once the troopers arrived, it was a little different.
Recognizable enemy.
Yeah, and I think so. Sabine initially started off with her two blasters, like she does. At one point, again, felt the need to grab the lightsaber, but now she's fighting with the lightsaber in one hand, a blaster in the other, and it was fucking great.
Cal Kestis style.
Yeah, that, and she's like, kind of, what's the word? Anyway, she's embracing, that's the thing. She's embracing both her Mandalorian and this alleged Jedi side of her. And, she's taking...
It's not alleged.
Well, either way, she's taking like fucking blaster shots to her Beskar armor, and she's fucking absorbing them. Then she's fucking blasting people, slicing people with the fucking thing. She's like the total package now at this point when she embraces all these other aspects of combat and who she is. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Shin comes in, she cuts Ezra's hair. He ducks just in time, and she takes off some of his hair, and he starts fighting her off again. No lightsaber, just the Force, so he had to like force stop her saber as she's swinging it at him. But he seemed to do it with
he obviously had that connection to the Force still. take your fucking lightsaber, dude.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Yeah. But then Sabine shows up and they kind of push Shin back. Then Ahsoka and the Stormtroopers show up. Another big shootout. And Ahsoka does not pull her lightsaber on Shin. She also only uses the Force to fight off Shin for a little bit. Then once the troopers fucking back out, they offer Shin, like Ahsoka offers Shin, like, hey, lay down your weapon and I'll help you. And she's like, nah, fuck that. And just,
no, peace out.
Yep.
This is not the path I'm on.
Yeah. So,
it's fucking the dude with her white Russians.
yeah.
Which hopefully, Wally, you're working on that.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else. Okay, so yeah, after that they fight everybody off. Thrawn has another little monologue where he's like, yeah, killing them is not really the main end game. Stranding them here is sufficient, because what we did with that little stunt was we took away a lot of time from Ahsoka.
Right.
Which, oh, look, all the cargo is almost on the ship. So we're about to get the fuck out. They're going to be stuck on the planet. No worries. And then we go back down to the planet. Ahsoka has her hugging reunion with Ezra. They're all talking, and Ezra really can't wait to get home. Like, really can't. And then they're all standing there sort of side by side, looking up as Huyang pulls the ship in, Ahsoka's ship. And it's like this long shot of them looking up at the ship. The ship's right there, like happy music, and then boom, credits. And I'm immediately thinking, because that's exactly what that ending felt like.
Yeah.
It felt like it should have been written and directed by George Lucas.
Yeah, that's one of those false fronts.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like, I think we're all going home. I'm just like, oh, kid, like you are so wrong right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is not going to end well for you.
No. And honestly, now that we're caught up and can talk theories, I feel like nobody's getting off of this fucking galaxy. Like, I think that they're going to do something to sabotage the fucking hyperspace ring, and they're all going to be fucking stuck there.
I mean, yeah, because we have nothing in canon bringing them back into the other galaxy, right?
None of these other characters that we've seen are in current canon.
Right. So it doesn't, I don't know. But do we have anything that brings Ahsoka and Sabine back? I have to do more research on that.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, it's a big galaxy, right? If they do get back and whatever happens, and obviously fucking Papa Palpatine's got his fucking junkyard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. He's got his fucking junkyard going with all the fucking Imperial Star Destroyers with their fucking big boob nipple guns going.
Yeah. Sidebar. Did you know Robot Chicken made some more Star Wars stuff? Like, there's some more Star Wars Robot Chicken out there with like Rey and fucking Palpatine from Rise of Skywalker.
I've seen some of them. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that those existed until this last weekend.
Oh, nice.
I was fucking around on YouTube and I saw them on there. I'm like, what?
I don't know if they're in any sort of collection though.
They're definitely not in the collection that I own, but
no, I mean like a collection that you could like purchase.
Yeah.
I don't think they are.
Yeah.
I know I've seen them randomly.
But one I saw was like, it's from Rise of Skywalker when Rey's talking to Palpatine as he's in his like fucking robotic thing.
Right.
And it's like, it's like malfunctioning. It's like slamming him all around.
Yeah. God, this Robot Chicken's so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like, as theories go, like we have 24 hours before, or 25 hours.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna know. Somebody mentioned in there, I think it's got a 46-minute runtime. No way you tie this up. No fucking way.
Yeah.
It's gonna be space whales into oblivion again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have a whole thing with Hera that has to be tied into it somehow.
Yeah.
I can't see leaving that loose end.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen Jason again. Like, there's all these little extra elements that, because of the strike and everything else, we're not going to get these any closure to it at all.
No, and
it's
then
going to be a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
no
and
matter
then
what we do.
Of course, we've got the whole Ray Stevenson aspect of all of this as well.
Yeah, so that's going to require. I mean, if for nothing else, I mean, I'm sure Dave Filoni is writing his ass off right now.
Oh yeah,
like, it's if they're not filming and they're not working on shit, he's probably writing, and hopefully he's writing fucking the History of the Galaxy
parts 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3. Write it as a fucking Hitchhiker's Guide. That would be fucking brilliant.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's like my biggest takeaways from these 2 episodes were, Balin and he's obviously on his track, whatever his plan is, and it just he's been riding this course of events to get to the point that he is now,
right?
And Shin was just part of the ride. She was never really a part of it. That Thrawn is Thrawn. They gave us Thrawn. They gave us a great introduction to Thrawn, but I had to watch it twice to get sold. Sure. But then Thrawn thinking out problems and talking out loud and strategizing and shit like that, I was like, this is.
Yep.
It gave me the Thrawn that I wanted.
Yeah, doing Thrawn things.
Yes. And Hu Yang is my favorite droid. I mean, even there's one line that he says from the fucking ship when he's flying by, and he's like, "Oh, look, they're all together. I hope I survive long enough to see it." Or it's a great. It does make me want to delve into something like the Clone Wars to be able to get a little bit more background into this guy.
Though I think he was only in one episode.
Oh,
so
I mean, but if there's stuff like that that's there.
Yeah,
we get those little nuggets and we can, glom off of that.
Yeah, that's true. For me, as far as like takeaways, I loved episode 6. It was good. The introduction of Thrawn. I felt like episode 7, this last one, was actually a lot of filler. It really didn't progress the story that much outside of more good Balin dialogue. But it didn't really push us very close to a conclusion.
No, it was just time.
Yeah.
And I think it was almost deliberate, right? It's like this is what Thrawn was doing. He was dragging out.
Yeah, he was stalling. Stall.
Yep. Like get all these dead fucking witches into like get the Pointer Sisters and her fucking dead broads into the ship so we can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Sprinkle some crack and get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward.
Yep. And again, 24 hours. And just to remind people too, we don't have a show next week because I'm
on vacation.
Yeah, Dave's going golfing, so we will be talking about the Ahsoka finale in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So it'll be
everyone will have plenty of time to fucking absorb it, watch it a couple times, come up with strategies, including us. And yeah, we'll have hopefully if you're a listener, you'll have seen it.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about like people, oh my God, I'm still on episode whatever, blah, blah, blah. No. All that I talked to a lot of people, even at the wedding. Talked to people who are like, no, I haven't watched it yet because I'm waiting for it all to come out so I can binge it.
I know a lot of people who do that. And I don't get it.
See, I don't like that personally.
Yeah.
But I the more people I've encountered it, the more I understand it. Like Netflix has created this thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, here's everything at once. Like your Cobra Kai bullshit, right?
Yep.
You get Cobra Kai all at once. So if you wanted to sit there and watch the entire fucking thing, you can.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for an episode.
Which I did last season.
Yeah, I'll bet you did. And that's what I think people have developed like this taste for is like, oh no, I can't just wait for a fucking show. Like, yeah, you can. Yeah. It builds up the drama and the suspense, and I think it's written for that. It's not written for you to fucking just watch and watch.
Yeah.
Although with this, you probably can with the way this show is. Maybe that's why the episodes are so short.
Yeah.
But there's something to waiting.
Yeah. And the speculation between weeks, like, oh, who's Marok? What could he be?
Yeah.
Whereas if you got to just binge it in one night, you'd know everything. And
I think it's just. I mean, I get it if you're in a situation where you can't watch and you can catch up on episodes. That's awesome, and that's good for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have encountered a lot of people that are waiting for the whole thing to be done, and they're just going to watch it all in one shot.
Yeah, but I guess that's the difference between the casuals and the people like us.
Facts.
Yeah.
We're giving everyone the opportunity to get caught up, and then we're gonna finish.
Yep. So,
My penis so smooth.
are you ready to read some notes?
I will read some reads.
All right.
But my understanding is that
oh yeah,
there was no reviews.
Nope, we have not gotten new reviews in so long.
So Hennifer Lopez is on strike.
Yeah.
Because there hasn't been reviews.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna get is Drunk Brokaw because you won't leave reviews. Hey puppers.
Yeah. Oh,
good morning. Oh, look at that stretch. Such a good dog.
Yeah. Come here, Jan. Oh. Say hi to the people.
Yeah, look at you. Oh, I'm so sleepy. I just woke up. Yeah.
All right, go ahead with your.
All right. So we get Drunk Brokaw out here. Yeah. Hennifer's on strike. Sorry. Get some reviews, and then maybe she'll come out of her dressing room. So in the meantime, you're gonna get the Drunk Brokaw. Yeah. So ATSW Family Happenings, Snooch, Big Lovin', and Dragon Buddy will be reviewing Ahsoka season finale on Wednesday, eventually. So don't miss ATSW Escape Pod at 19:05, 7:05 Eastern, on the YouTube. On Sunday, Kim and Nicole will be discussing all 8 episodes of Ahsoka on Used and Abused. Find them at 2100 9 p.m. Eastern live on YouTube. This past Saturday, Snooch and LG reviewed Stranger Things, Season 3, Chapter 7, The Bite. Catch the replay at Stranger Things Has Happened on YouTube. Getting drunker as I read this. Layman Serves recorded a special on Ghost with Shanti from Pop My Culture and Darius from Podcast of Pain. I had something for that and I forgot it. Because that's what I'm Tom Brokaw. Stay tuned for details on when it will be released in sub to layman's terms on YouTube for your primary source of ignorance and drunken banter. I like drunken banter. I'm Tom Brokaw. On Friday, Big Sweet and his early 2000s band Slaves for Scores released their remastered song Brand New Disease. Check out Slaves for Scores on all streaming platforms, and you will do it. Our bro from the land down under, where women glow and men plunder, Wally Frogmore, released another new creation at Frogmore Art on Instagram _Dragon Art. Can't you hear the thunder? You better run, you better take cover, and follow Frogmore Art. The Orange and Fett Show released episode 92 for Spies Like Us this past Thursday. That is a great movie. Spies Like Us, a great movie. You've seen Spies Like Us, right?
Been a long time.
The cheating scene and the GLG 20 cheat scene in the beginning is as classic as you get in a movie. Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd at their best. Yeah, I remember when those were just wee lads, just growing up in the world.
Now they're days from death.
Now they're drunk Brokaw. Cruise their back catalog on Spotify and Apple. That was the Orange Fett Show.
All right,
they're doing Spies Like Us. You can find us at bio.link/the Sidebar Cantina, where you can find our links to Patreon, YouTube, our audio podcasts on Apple, Audible, and Spotify, and our
all social media platforms, including X, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok, TikTok, and Discord. Once you get on the bio link, simply click the symbols under our pick to go to your platform of choice. You'll also find our past Spotify music mixtape playlist, which I think that was one last week, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
I'm Tom Brokaw. Also in our bio link is our TeePublic merch shop. We have our Jason Rose design, the super sexy Twi'lek, the sidebar chick, our beloved Hennifer design, F Cancer, written in Auerbash, and a couple from a Gen X point of view throwbacks. Like me, I'm a throwback. Hi, Pupper. There are t-shirts, hoodies, tote bags, phone cases, exclusive stickers, pins, wall art, magnets, notebooks, laptop cases, fuck pillows, and just about anything you can imagine. Just tag us on the socials with your sidebar merch. There's obviously no reviews because I'm Tom Brokaw. Please write us a 5-star review on Apple or Audible. Don't have an Apple or Audible account. Our Facebook page has a review feature too. Just screenshot your review before you hit done and DM us the pic on Instagram or Twitter. This is your chance to tell us your thoughts on our show. Jason or Hennifer Lopez, whoever the hell that is, or Hank, or Edith, or Mama, or Drunk Tom Brokaw. Hey, I'm Drunk Tom Brokaw. Or somebody fun will read your review word for word on our next episode. Let us know who you want to read it. Go. I'm Tom Brokaw. If you're listening to us on audio, please consider joining us in a live chat on Mondays. The chat is most definitely where it's at. If you are new to Sidebar, please subscribe, hit ding that bell, and select all to receive notifications when we go live. Remember to smash that like button. It really helps us out. And then, check out salvagedeepspace.com and find out information about playing Exomex and doing game shit. And I have to rewrite that. I keep saying that every week. But I'm Drunk Tom Brokaw, and I don't have time.
Hey, what are you eating? What do you got? Here, let me see. Let me see. Sorry. Let me see. Let me see. Saw the dog chewing on something. Let me see.
Well, whatever it is gone. The dog apparently is feasting on G.I. Joe toys. It's just like the old days. I'm Tom Brokaw. I'm done.
You're done? All right. Well, thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. We'll probably see you next week because none of our listeners give a shit about us because they don't write us reviews.
Apparently.
Apparently. All right. And Dave's back.
Hello.
All right. So we got to wrap this up because we are at time.
Yes.
Looking forward to the finale of Ahsoka.
Yes.
You enjoy your week of golf.
I will.
And I think this is the end, my friends.
This is the end. I don't know. I got nothing.
All right. So yeah, that's it. Thanks again for joining us. To everybody on YouTube, thanks to all of our audio listeners. Until next time, Dave and everybody else, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you. Oh, okay. What am I clicking?
That's good. I've got to piss like a motherfucker.
Yeah, me too.
Right. Yeah, why don't you start the transfer and I'll piss while you're doing that. All right, guys, I'm turning this off because
you can too.
Yeah. But thank you, and we'll
bye everyone.
We'll be back soon.